After Hours with Tommy Lugauer, 7 to midnight. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. Evan Roberts. Tiki Barber. It's Evan and Tiki on WFAN, The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Welcome to Evan and Tiki with Sean Morash. Welcome to a post-MLB trade deadline post-mortem. And Tiki and I had a brief meeting before the show, and we made a decision that I don't think we've ever made yet here on Evan and Tiki with Sean Morash in the 3+ years we've been here, to quote a United States senator, and it could be any one of them, when they want to yield the floor to one of their fellow senators, they say, I yield the floor to the senator from Michigan.
Yes, I yield my time back to the producing booth.
That's right. We have decided, since Brian Cashman had a day that Sean Morash was not a big fan of, even before 6 p.m., that Tiki and I open the show by yielding the floor to the gentleman behind the glass.
Thank you, Evan, and thank you, Tiki. I'm glad you're not insulted by this, because every Yankee fan should wake up absolutely insulted today. Because what the Yankees and Brian Cashman did yesterday was insult the intelligence of a fan base that has given way too much money, way too much heart, way too much passion, and way too much soul into this organization, while we get sucked into the same 90-win season every year that ends with the same fate and the same comments from the same general managers that's existed since I was in tighty whities at the age of 8 years old. Not getting a major league catcher when you yourself, Brian Cashman, stated how big a need it was, while you yourself sat there and watched your two biggest rivals in the AL East yesterday collect major league catchers, was insulting. It was insulting to us, and it was insulting to the roster, frankly, and insulting to veterans like Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge, if and when he does come back, that there remains no urgency. There may not be baseball next year, and that has to play into this. There is a sense of urgency that exists with major league teams, and you saw it with the Boston Red Sox. You sure as hell see it with the Los Angeles Dodgers, who take a three-peat seriously. That simply doesn't exist with the Yankees. And if urgency existed, the Yankees would not have come up empty-handed yesterday, sans a platoon outfielder. Thank you, Richie in Queens. That is what the Yankees did. And while all the phone calls, I'm sure, were poured into trying to acquire a catcher that never came yesterday, the Yankees also sat there and didn't acquire a reliever. And we kind of forgot they needed one because of how great the bullpen ERA had been. And boy, was it on full display last night after the fact when Ryan Yarbrough hands the baton to Angel Shavihi, who has been great, by the way, but again showed you why he's not necessarily a steady reliever. Fernando Cruz in a game down 6 runs last night. The Yankees are so barren in so many critical areas that are going to come back to haunt them in October. And what happened again yesterday, and we've seen deadlines where they've even added Kenyon Middleton when the team's gone nowhere. To say to the fan base things never materialized is insulting. We know better than that. We know things could have materialized. Once again, the Yankees held on to prospects that could have easily been traded. I know the Adley Rutschman deal that the Boston Red Sox made seems like a great deal for Boston, but what are we talking about here? We're talking about Dax Kilby or Carlos Agrania and Elmer Rodriguez. Those are the kind of prospects that Baltimore got in Boston's stead in that moment. And the Yankees couldn't afford to do that, instead watching the Red Sox get richer as they nip at their heels. The only word I could find this morning is insulting. And if you expected me to scream and yell, I apologize, but the Yankees are no longer worth screaming and yelling about. I'm insulted. I'm insulted that I have to sit here with my clown makeup on for the next 2 months and pretend this year is not going to end the same way every other year is, which is without a World Series. And their biggest argument why the Yankees can make one is that the American League stinks. Well, guess what? The two other teams that we're supposed to fear in the American League did exactly and acted exactly how you should have yesterday. And Brian Cashman chose not to. And I'll let you guys react, and then I'll get to the George Lombard stuff, because that probably is even more insulting to everybody else's brain. But react to that first, and let's get into the crap they pulled after the game, which is just, it's embarrassing for this organization.
It is unacceptable for Brian Cashman to have walked away from this trade deadline without acquiring a catcher. If no catchers were traded, I would say something different. If no catcher was moved, I would say, hey, look, man, you can't invent one out of thin air. Like, no shortstop was moved. So I can't sit here and bitch that they didn't go get a shortstop. Two catchers were not only moved, They were moved inside your division.
Yep.
In Adley Rutschman, and that was an expensive package, and Liam Hicks, where it's tough to gauge that package. The Rays have a very good farm system, but those guys were not even in the top 10 in the Rays farm system. So, to me, and I want to be honest about this, while I think the Yankees can still win a World Series, and I like the two other additions they made, which we'll spend more time on, I do agree with you that leaving this trade deadline to rely on Austin Wells, who had a great day yesterday.
Ironically enough.
Well, he's been up and down. He is the epitome of frustrating, maybe figuring it out player. Because there are moments when he's completely lost. And then there's moments where he hits 4 home runs in 4 days.
Yeah.
So it feels like they needed an upgrade, but I can understand, to be honest with you, why Brian Cashman said maybe we can still rely on Austin Wells.
Yeah, but you could have relied, like, let's use Liam Hicks as an example, because the Adley Rutschman package and the fact he has an injury, I get it. Like, I can understand the hesitation. He has a wrist injury, he's still on the injured list, and the Red Sox gave up a lot. Okay, fine. Let's put that to the side. Liam Hicks.
By the way, if we had brought in an injured player,
Sure.
we'd be screaming as well.
I think today there'd be excitement because he's a catcher.
Yes.
In about 3.5 weeks, when he's still not back from the IL.
We'd be screaming, what the hell did you trade for an injured player for?
I agree. Hicks, to me, bothers me more because even though he DH'd like half the time with the Marlins, you could have brought Liam Hicks in and still sold us on, hey, Austin Wells is going to play. He's going to defend at a high level. He'll come in late as a defensive replacement. He'll start maybe 2/5 of the games, and Hicks will come off the bench as a bopper who can come in late. Like, I think you could have made, even though he's a left-hand hitter, the Wells-Hicks thing work to allow him to go to the team ahead of you. Dude, I can't defend that. I'm with you on that. And I don't go as psychedelic as you. I don't say, they can't win. They're going to get knocked out in the first round. I think eventually you got to brush yourself off from a disappointing trade deadline and evaluate what the team has. But I have to co-sign what the Yankee fans are saying. I'm sure Big Mac isn't going to flip-flop on it, and he'll remain pissed off at it. It was unacceptable to leave this trade deadline without acquiring a major league catcher. And they did.
Yeah, look, and here's the situation. This is where when we have all these arguments and fights about the future of Brian Cashman and the lifetime contract stuff, and a lot of that stuff we say tongue-in-cheek, but this is where it becomes a reality. Because if Brian Cashman felt any kind of hot heatness, whatever, hot seat stuff, I think he is more ample to press the button on what extra prospect to give up. And I have a hard time. You guys want to play the Adley Rutschman game, and I understand what you're saying, but Boston clearly viewed those medicals and thought he would be back at some point in time. And you heard what Craig Breslow said last night after the deadline about the Red Sox, that the momentum of the Boston Red Sox deserved the momentum of the front office. And they want to do everything they can to win a World Series. I'm paraphrasing. That's as close to a quote as I could give you. The Yankees version of that is, well, it's good to see Giancarlo Stanton doing some stuff outdoors. Like my neighbors when I spray for bees.
Okay.
I mean, what are we talking about
so
here?
would you then argue that the New York Yankees have momentum? How are you positioning how are you positioning the Yankees in the American League right now? What does it feel like is happening?
It feels
are they moving forward? Are they moving backwards?
It feels
just kind of stagnating. What's going on?
It feels like the Yankees are stagnating, but I would like to say the momentum is moving forward from this standpoint, or it could have been. They just got Max Fried back. We don't know. Let's be real. The Yankees pillar, if they're going to make a run in October, is going to be on those 3 starters, and we all agree on that. But how many years does Garrett Cole have left at his peak, especially if you think in the back of your mind there's a chance there's no baseball? Max Fried, Cam Schlittler, and Garrett Cole, forget the future of Aaron Judge, deserved better than what Brian Cashman gave to them. They go out there every single night thinking they have to throw a shutout. And I know they added Luis García Jr. We love home run last night.
Well, don't shortchange it then. Like, you can be mad at catcher, which every Yankee fan has a right to be.
They needed to do more yesterday, Evan. We left last night, and you wake up today. You want to say maybe they can make a run through the American League. There should be no maybes. This American League was we had A-Rod on Fanatics Fest, said the same thing. It changes everything. As easy a path as a New York Yankee team should have for October. And instead, what they did yesterday is make that path harder. I wake up today, as much as I'm going to have the pom-poms out, I'll be at a game Friday night, I'll be all, whatever. But the truth is, if you wake up today on August 4th and you don't think it's going to be a major shock if the Yankees win the World Series this year, I don't know what to tell you. because the general manager made that a reality. It is now a major surprise if the Yankees actually do win a World Series. They should have never left the trade deadline with that feeling, and that feeling is an absolute reality. And I believe that feeling exists as a reality because Brian Cashman knows he can cherry pick and hold on to the prospects and kind of see the long-term plan because there is no fear of this guy ever losing his job, and that's a major issue with this organization.
Boy, he's on fire today.
I'm pissed off,
I
man.
can't tell if you're more mad that the roster stinks from your estimation or that Brian Cashman has no accountability, apparently, and he has no job.
Doesn't.
He has no issue with his job. He's been there for 28 years?
Tiki, everything's connected. That is a part of why there's no accountability. If Brian Cashman thought the urgency was on and Hal had gave an edict, the Yankees have Adley Rutschman today. They part with a couple of these prospects.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't play? What if he's not? What if he turns out to be a dud? What if you give away all these prospects? And again, I'm not defending Brian Cashman. I'm just giving you the counter argument. And I think Brian Cashman has earned the right over the course of his tenure as the general manager of the New York Yankees to make that decision.
Okay.
I don't trust that this is going to be the right move.
Okay, then it's Liam Hicks. You can't allow him to go to the Rays. To me, that's the safety valve.
That's the one that bothered me more.
Yeah.
Because you know what Liam Hicks did? See, the Yankees, and this is where I will give Brian Cashman credit. I know that sometimes it has to be all or nothing, but the New York Yankees have had an LD offense for a month and a half.
Right.
They have been, statistically, the worst offense in Major League Baseball since the middle of June. Those are the facts. Brian Cashman needed to improve the offense before the trade deadline, and to a degree he did.
Of course.
He added Luis García.
Right.
He added Heliot Ramos. Are they perfect players? No. Are they going to end up sitting, in Ramos's case, against a tough righty? Sure. Is
Right.
Garcia? I get all that.
Right.
There is no doubting the Yankee offense is better. I was willing, as a Yankee fan, if I was, to say, I'm so desperate to continue to get better offensively, get me Liam Hicks. I'll take the concerns about his defense. I'll live with it. I'll make it work because I need to score runs. So I think he did a little of it because I think Ramos and Garcia are clear improvements. I just don't think he did enough. And the bullpen thing, let me address that.
Gosh.
There are two things that really bother me about the way that was handled. Number one, I said this at the top of the show. I've been very consistent about this over the years. I think it's irrational to get pissed off for not acquiring players that were never available. So a couple of years ago, I think it was Met fans were pissed off. We needed a starting pitcher. And I was like, well, what starting pitcher was traded?
Nobody was traded.
In the case of bullpen arms, let's stay local. You couldn't have matched what the Mets got back for Luke Weaver. Really? And by the way, the Mets had to kick in money.
$2 million, right?
The Yankees could have said, screw it, we'll pay the whole thing. And we know this guy because he's been here before. You're telling me the Yankees couldn't have matched or defeated the one prospect who I guess is appealing because he's got a Met connection. He grew up as an idiot Met fan like all of us. The Yankees couldn't have eclipsed that, or staying with the Mets, they couldn't have eclipsed what they got for Brooks Raley.
Yep.
They couldn't have done that. And we can do this for a while because plenty of relievers were moved. It's not like those were the only ones. And so I think it is absolutely fair to look at relievers that are moved and say, why not us? And here's the second part that really frustrates me. I believe in history. A part of why I defended Brian Cashman before the trade deadline is I looked at his history. Let's play a game. And I don't know if you know this, Sean, but I want you to go into the memory bank. Big Mac's listening at home, go into the memory bank. When was the last time the Yankees had a trade deadline in which they didn't acquire a relief pitcher? Think about that for a second.
That's a great point because I brought up Middleton a couple of years ago.
That was 2023. That was the year where they sucked and they supposedly stood pat. They added a reliever. Last year, added relievers. 2024, added relievers. Mark Leiter was the guy that they added. Not saying they're great.
No, you're right. It's every year they add a reliever.
You want the answer?
Or multiple relievers.
You want the answer?
Never?
2016 when they sold relievers.
Wow.
In 17, in 18, in 19, even in 20, in which there was like a half a trade deadline. Brian Cashman has always added relief help, and yet this season, and I can't answer it other than, well, if all our starters are healthy, we'll move starters to the bullpen. This is the first time in a decade.
Yeah, but he can argue it. And again, this is not defending Cashman. This is giving the counter argument. He can argue that he doesn't need it because they have one of the best bullpens in baseball. He can argue that they don't need it because they have, in theory, the top. I mean, we didn't see it yesterday from Cam Schlittler. They have the best starting rotation in all of baseball. And so, is it that important?
Yes.
If you've already had If you already have that piece in place?
I'll tell you why it's that important, Tiki. Because you're right. Over the long haul of the season, that bullpen ERA, I get all that. But if you've paid attention to the last two, by the way, I'm not suggesting you haven't. I'm just going into my own brain here. Fernando Cruz has seemed off every other start.
Yes.
Even Paul Blackburn, who rebounded that second, but that first outing in Chicago was kind of like the bloom came off the rose. Then last night, Shavihu had been awesome, and they immediately sent him down. And on top of that, I would have been okay not adding a bullpen arm, but there were two names that I had in the back of my head because it was kind of what we were sold all year, which was Giovanni Cruz and Carlos Legrand. Well, you sent Giovanni Cruz in the deal for Luis García Jr. Fine, you got to give to get.
Right.
And then we find out yesterday from Brian Hoke, it's probably going to be a shock if Legrand's here the rest of the year. So you dealt away one of those relievers. The other reliever you couldn't wait to send down because of options when he finally imploded last night, and the other guy ain't coming back. So your big answer is Clark Schmidt, who's throwing to Giancarlo Stanton in a batter's box right now?
Even if the guys weren't that appealing, I'll include Duvall in this, they subtracted from their bullpen.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I get that, especially when you see other relievers that were moved saying, how come you didn't add at least one? And that's why it's not all bad. This isn't an F trade deadline for Brian Cashman because, and we'll get into it as the show rolls on, and you saw it last night with Luis Garcia, it's a really good addition. Of
course.
Heliot Ramos, flawed player, is a good addition. They needed a right-handed bat in the outfield. But in a year in which the American League is so gettable, he left a lot to be desired. This was not a great trade deadline for Cash.
Boston Red Sox got better, and they're 2 games behind you right now.
And the Rays got better. I mean, it's behind the Rays added pitching. They added a catcher. You're trying to catch them. Think about this for what the Yankees did before we try not to give it an F deadline. And again, I love the addition of Luis García Jr. There's a good chance he's not going to play a lot versus lefties when lefties do pitch. Heliot Ramos is a guy who's a platoon player. The Yankees' 2 big answers, and less with Garcia, but the point remains. Platoon. With the New York Yankees, can we add baseball players that go out there and play every single day without worrying about matchups? The Yankees are going to enter October with basically 2 different teams offensively, both, by the way, led with Trent Grisham, who sucks leading off. That's not how you operate and win World Series. Platoon? We're not a war movie. We're the Yankees.
He's not that far off. I mean, especially in a series potentially against the Red Sox, who are so left-handed.
Right. I almost gave you Aaron Judge could be back, and he's like a trade deadline acquisition. I almost did it,
gave
John.
you. By the way, we'll get to that. Pretty ominous quotes, too, about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Pretty ominous quotes. Now, Evan, I'm sorry. I'm going to take this in another direction.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
Because I'm cooking with steam.
Yeah, you're cooking.
I have to bring up the Lombard situation now because
course.
it pisses me off beyond belief.
Hold on. Before you explain why you're pissed off, I would think you're excited because we all said if they can't add a third base shortstop option, at least you can talk yourself into the internal option of your number 1 prospect. They can't do that at catcher. They can't even do it with their bullpen. So I would expect you to be excited that George Lombard is coming.
Are you making wontons or are you making steak?
Right now?
Yeah.
I had steak last night.
Okay, so it's fire, not steam.
Go ahead. All right.
I was curious where that was going.
When you get served crap sandwiches a lot, you can smell the crap cooking in the kitchen, right? Like it's a constant smell of what's going on. And I knew this was coming, and I'm still pissed off that it was coming.
Why are you mad about this? I don't
All right,
understand.
hear me out. What was it, 3 weeks ago?
Him being called up is good.
Right.
Like, what am I missing
He replaces Volpe. I mean, almost literally replaces Volpe.
This is the point. You're right. A Yankee fan driving to Yankee Stadium tonight should be fired up that they get to go sit there and see George Lombard's debut. I mentioned I'm going to the game Friday night. I can't wait to watch George Lombard play. That is all true. However, why is this being done today? George Lombard came off that IL 3 weeks ago. He was hitting beforehand. You saw him basically come right off the IL and hit a couple of days ago. Every single game over the last week and a half, as has been the case all year, has mattered. The Yankees shortstop and third base situation hadn't changed. And the Yankees yesterday, when they don't get an Adley Rutschman or whatever, it seems pretty obvious, and I think we could all agree today, that they truly were never trading George Lombard Jr. Do we agree on that?
Yes.
That was never going to happen. Mason Miller, they were never trading him. So if they knew they were never trading him, why did they waste time the last week not having him up ahead of the deadline while we watched the shortstop position continue to struggle?
You know why.
Exactly. We do know why, Tiki, and that's the crap sandwich. Because Brian Cashman's probably sensed, I'm not going to be totally quiet at the deadline, but this is the one thing that will not only help the team, but get the fan base happy. And to pull this parachute out when you failed at the deadline, and he knows he failed. To pull this parachute out and to immediately get the fans off your back and get them all excited buying their chicken buckets tonight at Yankee Stadium is another example of us as a fan base being completely insulted by this front office. That's it. You should, if you're a Yankee fan and you're pumped up about Lombard, you should be. I am too. But we should be insulted that it took till the day after a miserable deadline to see him.
Excellent work, Sean.
Good job.
Excellent work.
Good job. Sean, guess what?
What?
You could be a Met fan.
You know what? Right, I could be. But I'm not.
I'm glad.
This still sucks. It's a different version of suck.
I'm glad for your emotion.
It's a very different kind of suck, Tiki. Very, very different. We'll get your calls, Yankee fans. Are you co-signing Sean Morash's emotions, or do you actually like the trade deadline? Because they did improve this offense. The toll-free number is 888-808-1019. Plus, I'll make Sean happy. Because believe it or not, he deserves his flowers on this Tuesday. We'll hand it to him coming up. But right now, it's time for the Yankee turning point of the game. First call to correctly identify yesterday's turning point at 866-540-WFAN. We'll receive a $100 Wendy's gift card from our friends at Wendy's. Eat great even late at Wendy's, and your flagship station for New York Yankee baseball, The Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you, at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Flushing Bank, a division of Ocean First Bank.
Save smarter and enjoy more with the great CD rates offered by Flushing Bank, a division of Ocean First Bank. Whether you're planning ahead or growing your savings, now is a great time to lock in a competitive rate. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
The road to kickoff 2026 starts now. From off-season moves to position battles and the biggest storylines surrounding the Giants and Jets, WFAN is getting you ready for football season. Expert analysis, breaking news, insider insight. Football lives here. WFAN.
877-393-4448. Optimum fiber, so fast, so fine. Got another provider leaving behind. Come on, everybody, let's get online. $30 a month, gonna blow your mind. 5 whole years, don't hesitate. Lock it in now before it's too late. 877-393-4448. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
I'm Galen, co-founder of Brooklyn SolarWorks. With my Chase Inc. Business Premier Card, I get unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything we buy to run our solar business gives us cash back that we put back into the neighborhood, donating solar panels to community gardens.
Chase Inc. Cashback built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/inc. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating and 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia. Movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
Right now, you can grab a full breakfast at Dunkin' for $6. That's 2 wake-up wrap sandwiches and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's quick, easy, and covers your whole morning, all in one stop. Did I mention it's filling and delicious? It's a full breakfast. It's a great value, and it just makes mornings easier. So next time you're at Dunkin', don't overthink it. Order the Dunkin' $6 meal deal. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer. Cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
It's August. The dog days of summer are here.
I wonder how Nielsen Dodge can make it better.
Have a Dog Days of Summer savings event.
That's a doggone great idea.
Now that's a good girl.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. Just $289 a month. Yes, just $289 a month.
There's always zero down payment available.
The credit help you need.
More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals.
Hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge,
fun is in the driver's seat.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event. With approval, term 36 months, due at sign, $69.82 at tax tag and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. You know, after years in the game, I don't guess. I go with what works. Red Pocket Mobile gives you 3 major 5G networks to choose from. Switching cities? Switch your network. That's like calling your own Audible. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, if you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
The night belongs to the fans. Join Tommy Lugauer for After Hours. Weekdays at 7. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
The Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. Yankees rallied from 6-0 down to take a 7-6 lead on a Luis García Jr. homer. Then the tag team of Ryan Yarbrough and Angel Shavihi, well, they led to a Yankee implosion in what would become a 13-7 loss, looking like a football score. After the game, Shavihi, Dominguez, and Anthony Volpe were all optioned to AAA, leading up to the call-up of George Lombard Jr. to make room for Heliot Ramos. I keep saying Rodriguez, it's Ramos.
Ramos, get it right. Let's give Sean his flowers because over the last few weeks he has said a lot of things on the radio that maybe people listening rolled their eyes at, but he turned out to be very right about. One from yesterday, Tiki, you're going to love this. Of course, we talked a lot about the acquisition of Luis García, which led to Sean Morash making this prediction about Luis García last night.
He's homering tonight if he's in the lineup.
I like that confidence. Homering.
Did you bet it, Sean?
Yes, I did.
There you go.
Thank you.
Nice. And a lot of people did. Like, I think a lot of people took your advice and did it. And what sucks for Garcia and for Yankee fans is that it felt like a Yankee moment. It was a dramatic home run that gave them the lead, and it felt like it was going to be a Yankee win. But then, of course, the bullpen imploded. So it unfortunately becomes a footnote as opposed to a moment that goes on the DVD if the Yankees win a championship. But that's not the only thing Sean Morash deserves his flowers on. If you recall, a few weeks ago, we opened the show by passionately arguing that George Lombard Jr. should be called up on why it should have happened weeks ago. And, of course, we made a prediction. When would he be called up? Tiki said September. I said it wouldn't even happen. Sean Morash said this.
I'll go an hour after the deadline. I'll go.
So he will be called up on August 3rd.
Yep.
Okay, let me write that down.
I mean, it wasn't quite an hour after the deadline.
6 hours after the deadline.
Yeah, it was actually like 4.5 hours after the deadline.
But it was August 3rd.
He nailed it. And not only that, listen to his prediction on how the trade deadline would go about when Sean talked about this back on July 23rd.
The Yankees notoriously, in recent years under Brian Cashman, never get the big. Even last year when they added the bullpen guys, it was the Phillies who got Duran. Like, the Yankees will not get the biggest fish at catcher. They will get the second guy. They will not get the biggest fish at reliever in Mason Miller. They will get the next step down.
Well,
so to do that, where the fan base has their fangs out, he will go, here's George Lombard Jr. on the first game after the deadline to get you all pumped up.
That's why you're so mad at this, because you knew it was coming.
You could see it. You knew it.
This was one of those predictions where Sean wanted to be wrong. He wanted his prediction to be laughable at this point. But now we sit here the day after the trade deadline. It is exactly true. It's exactly true.
We all had our reasons for our dates on George Lombard, and I thought Evan brought up a really good point in terms of next year with the lockout. Do you really want to call him up and lose that time? And, you know, the idea of getting to September with you. But the reason I picked this was just, to me, it was the most obvious thing because there was no actual baseball reason for George Lombard to not have been here in the weeks prior other than the brief injury stint.
I'll give you 2 attempts at baseball reasons for why Lombard wasn't here. And obviously, I disagreed with it. I would have called him up weeks ago. Number one, to at least give yourself an opportunity to trade for a third baseman or shortstop.
Right.
Even though none became available, you never know.
Yeah, especially because of the roster machination is going to have to take place, right? If you bring up George Lombard, somebody's got to go. You have to take somebody off the 40-man.
Like,
right?
just imagine,
So
and I know it didn't happen, but what if the Yankees traded for Corey Seager? What if they had traded for Francisco Lindor or Bo Bichette?
Yeah.
Again, none of those guys were moved, but I think you hold off on that, like you mentioned, roster kind of mechanisms that you make,
Right.
by at least giving yourself a shot before the deadline. And then the second part is, why now? Anthony Volpe was actually playing well for a while. He's 2 for his last 19. He's back to being Anthony Volpe. And so maybe this is the line where you say, we've had enough. We've had enough. And Aaron Boone just revealed on Talking Yankees something I suggested a year and a half ago. Anthony Volpe is going to the minor leagues, and guess what he's going to do?
Play second base.
Play second base.
Even though they just traded for their second baseman if they lose draft.
It's not about that. It's about versatility.
Whatever it is.
If Anthony Volpe is going to have a career with the New York Yankees, and I think we're all skeptical of him having one here, he cannot be just a shortstop.
No,
He's got to be a utility player. I thought it should have started last year. They didn't do it. You had that weird story with Michael Kay claiming he was refusing to do it, and now he's doing it.
Well, forget it. If forget last year when Anthony Volpe was in the minors this year and trying to get back, that's when he should have been doing
that
it.
too. Sure.
That's when it should have been. I need to make my. In football, we always say, because you can always tell guys who are not going to make football teams because they don't play special teams. Right. They don't do They don't do anything else other than what their position says on the back of their trading card. But we always just say the more you can do. The more you can do. Can you return punts?
Yes.
That gives you a chance to make the team. Anthony Volpe refused to do the more you can do.
Well, I don't think he refused. I think the Yankees refused to do it.
Well, he should have asked.
Well, man, that's a fair one. That's fair.
He should have said, look.
Should have volunteered.
Let me try out second.
Okay.
You know what? Put me in the outfield. Put me anywhere.
Because you
just know it. How could he not see the writing on the wall? He had to have seen the writing on the wall. Like for the entirety of his tenure as a New York Yankee, and I'm talking about when he was a prospect, he was the golden child. He was the guy that was going to change and revolutionize or bring it back to the Jeter era with an elite defensive guy, and a guy who could hit in a clutch, all of that stuff. And it was just given to him, right? No matter what happens to you, we're going to leave you here. No matter, even if we see that you're not ready for it or you're injured or whatever the heck the circumstances are, we're just going to give it to you. And then he never had to work for it, right? It was just given to him. I'm not saying he wasn't good at moments, because he was, especially in the postseason a couple years ago. But you have to earn it, and he never did.
I would also go as far as to say I found it very ironic that we made this argument against why the Yankees shouldn't trade for Adley Rutschman, only to watch both Volpe and Dominguez go down together last night.
Right.
And how do you not think about whatever it would have cost and not this is what happens more times than not.
But do you think anyone wanted?
No, I'm not saying that.
He's talking about in the past when they were the hot prospects.
They were the hot prospects. So my point is, you don't want to trade the hot prospect.
Yeah, but I don't. Especially with Jason Dominguez, has he really had a shot?
Here's the problem with Dominguez.
Like last year, he really didn't play.
I agree, and he's come off the injury, and a lot of it's been hard luck.
Yeah.
But man, I've seen this tossed around. I think it's true. I think there's a lower baseball IQ on Jason Dominguez. The overrunning the bag stuff, the bad angles on fly balls. And I think a lot of this is organizational development wise. I think the Yankees have screwed him up.
All I could think of is yesterday, and I did not pull this clip. I apologize. Richie in Queens, one of our loyal callers and a Giants fan, was breaking down Heliot Ramos before they traded for him. And the first thing he said is, Heliot Ramos is smarter than Jason Dominguez. And that ain't saying much. And he meant baseball smarts, obviously. Jason would be the smartest guy in the world. Baseball smarts. So I do think that's one of the things that's held him back. Let's get to your calls, 888-808-1019. John in New Windsor. What's up, John?
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
I think I've been a Yankee fan my whole life, and I was heated yesterday, and I've had some time to think. I like calling Lombard up. We all know Sean was right. That was going to happen, right? I like the acquisitions they made with the bat. But how do you not come out of that trade deadline without some kind of catcher and at least or a relief pitcher? How is that possible? I understand they win every year, but I think, and this is coming from a reasonable opinion, I think Brian Cashman is done. I think it's just stale. Like, I don't know who to replace him with. I really don't.
Well, that's always going to be the most difficult thing. And trust me, if the Yankees get knocked out anywhere before a World Series, the getting rid of Brian Cashman discussion will commence. And my understanding is, and you could fact check me on this, is his contract runs out at the end of this season. Like, I thought he signed a 4-year contract back in 2022. So
would we even know if he signed an extension this year?
Yeah.
No, he signed the same one that the Pope does. So, I mean, I feel like we did have this conversation, but I thought he did sign an extension.
Yeah, I think it was 4 years ago, and it's about to end.
Really that long?
Time moves very quickly. But I do agree with the sentiment of that point that you needed, and these guys were traded, so it's not like we're arguing into the wind on guys that weren't traded. You needed to walk away from this deadline with another bullpen arm and any kind of catcher, even if it was Tyler Stevenson, who wasn't traded, or Liam Hicks. Like, Stevenson and Hicks are not perfect, but they would have been upgrades over what you currently have.
Right.
And what you currently have is a non-major leaguer in Ali Sanchez,
right,
and an Austin Wells, who, while he had a great day yesterday and has hit better for the last few weeks, is still kind of hovering on not being a major league offensive player, despite how good his challenges are.
Well, you have a backlog at first base right now. This would be the time to start putting Ben Rice behind the dish. And it's not happening.
Well, you want to hear from Brian Cashman on this?
Yeah, we know it's not happening, but you're kind of stuck.
I want you to pull up, because I pulled, I listen to Brian Cashman. I do it for you. I do it for the people. Because listening to Brian, he's very good with the media, but he talks a lot. And you got to get through the sludge. So I pulled 7 clips that I thought were interesting. I'll get to one now and then a few of them later, because you just brought up Ben Rice, and I want to answer that. Brian Cashman 6 is the clip you're looking for, when he was specifically asked, hey, what Tiki said, you got a bunch of first basemen, the catching situation isn't ideal, why not let Ben Rice catch?
We're not planning on having Rice catch now. He's our 3rd emergency catcher, but in terms of putting him in play for an everyday situation, we think he's best served in being deployed in the capacity he has been this year, and I think that is also allowing him to excel as well as he is offensively. So we are not considering him as a consistent catching option for us, but he is, obviously capable of getting back there if necessary, if we have any problems, or if Booney's trying to match up certain ways, and as he decides to navigate games late, and he needs to do something, and there's the last guy there, and he needs to shoot a pinch hit bullet, and he can put the gear on that way, but we're not gonna put him back there.
Well, okay, there are 2 parts of that answer I do not like, or at least deserve a follow-up, which did not occur.
Go ahead.
Follow-up number 1.
I have a thought. It brings a thought to my head.
Okay, maybe it's the same thought.
Keep going.
My first follow-up is, why didn't you do this in February and March? Like, I don't understand why it is taking until August to have this discussion, and we haven't seen Ben Rice behind the plate.
Have they asked? Have the beat Have they asked?
Aaron Boone's been asked about it, and he's just said, not yet, not yet. Like, he's always put it off.
Got it.
So the follow-up would be, and I know going back does no good, but it's very curious to me. This should have been done, or at least him being in the mix behind the plate much earlier this season. You're not going to do it in August. I get that. It should have happened earlier. But the real follow-up is, wait a second. Wait, hold on a second, Brian. So you're okay using him as a bullet. In case we need him, he can be behind the plate. Well, I got news for you. Are we entering in case you need him moment? If it's the playoffs.
Right, we need our best bats in the lineup as often as possible, which brings me to my thought, which is, isn't he telling us that Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton aren't going to be available anytime soon?
I don't think he said that at all.
In
that clip?
Yes.
By saying what he said about Ben?
Because if you want your best bats in the lineup, Ben Rice absolutely has to be considered your catcher. He has to be. Because he's not going to DH every day. Is Luis Garcia playing first base? Or is he going to play second base?
You're talking about in a world in which Stanton and Judge are healthy?
Yes.
I get you. I get you.
Where's Jazz going? Jazz going to third? Or is he staying at second? Luis Garcia is going to first. Is he going to second? Oh, Ben Rice has got to be the DH. You've got a cluster that's not fixable. There's just too many logger jams at the same
Someone is sitting that you don't want to sit
That's exactly
in a world
right.
in which they're healthy.
Unless Ben Rice plays catcher.
Right.
So it's like they're preparing for Judge and Stanton not being available at all this year. And so Ben Rice, he's just going to be our DH. And Paul Goldschmidt, he'll come off the bench if we need him to pinch hit. Right? Luis Garcia is going to be our first baseman. Ryan McMahon's going to be our third baseman. Lombard's going to be our shortstop. Jazz going to be second base. That's what it sounded like he was saying to me.
I get you.
I think Tiki's right. And I don't necessarily know because Stanton hit yesterday. I think this is more about Judge. I think they'll whatever. They can't trust Stanton to be healthy even when he does come back.
Right.
But I don't know how you don't hear that and think they're viewing Judge as a pleasant surprise if he comes back. And then they'll worry about that if they get there. But they're certainly not counting on him. They're certainly not. Here's the other thing I took away from it. I don't know, Cash. If you actually addressed catcher yesterday, maybe you're not worried about pinch hit bullets after the game because you're not pulling your catcher to do that. How many times is Ali Sanchez catching the last 3 innings of games because you have to pinch hit for Austin Wells?
That's right.
We're still stuck in his hellhole.
How many innings has Ben Rice caught this season?
None.
0.
None.
Okay, so what the fictitious situation he created, see, I think Brian's great, but sometimes he says too much.
Right.
If he cut
say no.
No, he's not catching. Because once you throw in, well, he's our third, we could use him in a pit. Well, then my follow-up is, why haven't you done it?
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you do it in a short series? Why wouldn't you do it in a short series? Because, and I get it, it's fictitious right now that Stanton is healthy or Judge is healthy, but in this world where they are, or even now, you're better off with him behind the plate at times. So that whole point of using him in a pinch kind of bothered me and deserves the follow-up of, why not now then?
Aren't you kind of in a pinch?
Yes. Does this not qualify as a pinch? You got the worst offense in baseball for the last month and a half. Let's go to Nick in Tampa. What's up, Nick?
Hey, yeah, this is a lifelong Yankee fan, and I've been down here in Tampa for 15 years now, holding out, slowly but surely watching the tides change, and these are not the same Yankees of, years past. And, Cashman has really lost, and same with the Steinbrenners. It goes all the way back to the Manny Machado trade, the Bryce Harper trade. There's numerous ones. Not getting a reliever is really the nail in the coffin for me as a fan. So when I go to the stadium next Friday, I will be buying a Rays hat.
Oh, come on. Get the hell out of here.
Stop it. You know that's not true.
Get the hell out of here. What? Well, you're okay with that, Sean?
No, I would never do that.
Buy a Rays hat.
I would never do that, and I would never respect that, but I understand it.
No, I don't understand it. You can be mad at the trade deadline. You don't give up your fandom. What kind of stupid comment is that?
Listen to me. I think when you leave New York, it's a lot easier to do that. That's why I understand it, but I just would never do it. And I think he's a fraud for saying that.
Okay, good. But let's stop right there.
No,
then.
But I will say this. Would you keep going to the same restaurant if every time you got there, the dishes got worse and worse?
Sean, you are talking to the wrong freaking guy.
Oh, that's right.
Because the restaurant I go to constantly is called MetLife Buffet, Barclays Restaurant, and the City Field Diner.
You're right. Wrong guy. Wrong guy.
Wrong conversation.
And he has lifelong reservations for all of them.
Yeah.
They're called season tickets.
Neil is in the Bronx. Hey, Neil.
Good morning, gentlemen. Love the show. Evan, Tiki. Evan, the last time I called, I went on a Cashman rant. You loaded up on me and went to his defense. Now, I just want to tell you one thing that you said, all right, under Cashman, they always get to the postseason, which is true. But we're talking about the Yankees. Getting to the postseason is what they should be doing all the time. Now, under Cashman, the standard is postseason or bust. Before Cashman, it was World Series or bust. So don't go into his defense. Pat him on his back. At least we always get to the postseason. I mean, we're the Yankees. That's what we do. We get to the postseason. Let's win the damn World Series already, okay?
I get you. I think we are both right.
Yeah.
Like, you are right to have a high bar, and I'm right to say he's not the piece of crap some of you talk about him as, because they do make the postseason every year.
Yeah.
Right now,
And
it's
when he
somewhere in
first-
the middle.
And when he first got to the Yankees, they were winning every
He
year.
inherited a pretty good situation.
He's still got to be a steward of a good team. And he won multiple World Series at the beginning.
The one thing that is not the thing we should do today, and maybe there'll be a time for it, probably after the Yankee season is over, is re-debate his entire legacy. This is about yesterday.
Yes.
And as much as I've defended Brian Cashman in the past or had confidence in him at this deadline, this was an underwhelming trade deadline.
Right.
I'll be the first to tell you.
No, you're right. Just when you think of it relative to what he's previously done or what his philosophy has been, because you talk about him always going to add relievers, maybe he's taking a different approach.
No.
Than he has
What
been.
would be the different
I don't
approach?
know,
He
but
also
why-
subtracted relievers at the deadline.
But why would you do that unless you think it? I don't know. Why would he change his MO?
It's
been 28 years.
I think, you want my kind of guessing on this?
Mm-hmm.
I think over the years, Brian Cashman has become more of what they call prospect hugger. And I think that while I think while he talked about Adley Rutschman, and maybe he talked to Stearns about Luke Weaver, and he talked about all these other guys, and he talked to Detroit about Tarek Skubal, eventually he looked at the pieces that were being asked and said, I don't want to trade those guys. And here's where I'll defend him on that. Because I heard Gio talking about this morning, and it's a fair point, but I think he's sort of wrong. Because Gio was talking about, look, one of the biggest problems is Anthony Volpe didn't work out. Jason Dominguez didn't work out. I can't disagree with that.
Right.
But what Gio left out and what Yankee fans leave out is that in 2025, if you went on one of those dopey lists, the Yankee prospect rankings, do you know coming into the season who was ranked 12th in their top 30, who every single person would have had no problem giving up because, well, he's 12th in our farm system. It was a fellow by the name of Cam Schlittler. In 2024 going into the year, you know who was 13th on that prospect list? Ben Rice.
Yeah.
So sometimes the development comes from the guys you least expect.
Right.
You can say with a straight face, Brian Cashman and the Yankees haven't developed guys over the last few years. You can say Anthony Volpe didn't develop, Jason Dominguez didn't develop, but you can't ignore the possible American League Cy Young Award winner and a guy who's going to get MVP votes who also developed, even if you didn't expect them to be the guys.
That's fair. That's fair.
It is fair, but what has changed with Brian Cashman is you used to know, whether it was like a Jesus Montero, Brian Cashman used to be really good at dealing out the prize prospect that he knew wasn't going to pan out. Now, he seems to always hold on to the guys that won't pan out.
But don't you think the Anthony Volpe situation taught him a lesson?
Did it? When did they learn a lesson? Last night?
No, just we've seen it this year. You know what I mean? It's just you've seen his philosophy change.
Yeah.
Right? For 3 years, it was, all right, whatever. Anthony Volpe gets to do whatever Anthony Volpe wants to do. He's going to be the savior. He's going to figure it out. And he realized it's not the case. And so he stayed in the minors. He just got sent back down to the minors. Doesn't it feel like it's changing?
Well, I mean, is it changed with Austin Wells, who he didn't aggressively pursue replacing as a prospect?
What other option do you have?
A trade.
Okay, but again,
Did
prospect
it change?
hugging.
I mean, he
prospect
hugged
hugging.
Dominguez.
I don't want to give up.
Yeah,
whoever.
No, but that's probably
LeGranier.
what. But that's,
I don't want to give up LeGranier.
But Tiki,
or
that's
Bryce
probably
Cunningham or any of these other guys.
But that's probably why they didn't get a catcher.
Ben Hess, exactly.
They didn't probably get a catcher because when the Orioles were asking on Adley Rutschman, they were asking for guys Brian Cashman wanted to hug and not give up.
Yes.
Same thing with the Marlins. So I'm not defending it because I think he messed up by not bringing in Liam Hicks. But I'm answering, well, what's happened? What's going on? I think he's more of a prospect hugger today than he was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I ask you this, Sean. I always bring this up.
I can see why he would be, to be honest with you.
Because of the way the sport is changing?
That, but also his team is getting old.
So you need to develop.
100%.
There is this fear in my mind that Brian Cashman does realize his age and does realize that he's closer to the end.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the team.
Well, but I think that there might be a place in Brian Cashman's head where he worries about his legacy being, I dumped these guys that panned out and I left the Yankees with nothing.
Oh, Barron, yeah.
Yeah, but he made the right decisions not dumping Ben Rice and Cam Schlittler. Where were the Yankees if those prospects who were not ranked that high were traded for Tanner Scott like you wanted 2 years ago?
Evan, you're right.
Of course I'm right.
But when you're hugging everybody over the last 5 years, some of them are going to work out. That's the point.
Yeah, you got to make the right decisions. You got to make the right decisions.
We're just going to clap.
We have no idea if any of these trade deadline decisions are going to work out.
No.
We have no idea.
But I can't clap for him because those two guys have worked out immensely when he hasn't been willing to give up basically anybody for 4 years.
No, dude.
But you also don't expect to lose your MVP. I mean, we got to remember the Yankees have not had their MVP.
I agree.
The MVP, multiple MVP of the league for 100 games. That you
56 games.
50, you know what I mean? 56.
I got the numbers in front of me. I'm sorry. I'll be a jerk.
Tiki, you're right. But you also should have a roster knowing that you have payroll advantages that doesn't rely on it that much.
Will he get to 100 games?
Will he miss 100
definitely.
games?
Yeah, here are the numbers on Aaron Judge. May 31st was the last time he played. The Yankees were 36-23, 13 games above 500. That's where they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they have treaded water without Aaron Judge, which you could look at as a positive because they haven't collapsed, but there's also no indication on when he's going to come back.
This is football news, and I believe on any other day this would have been much bigger news. It may have caused Evan to blow a gasket.
Oh, jeez.
From Jets camp, Kenyon Sadiq has had a setback.
Yep.
He will be out for a little bit. It is related to the hernia surgery.
You know what's funny? Last night, as I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about on this show, one of the things I wrote down was about the Jets and the Giants. I was talking about how good the Jets were, or the Giants looked in camp. But then I said about the Jets, it doesn't matter that these guys, and then, so it's Osai, it's Kenyon Sadiq. Who is the other? There's another injured player. I forget who it was. The Pons, D'Angelo Pons. Like, they have all of this hype. But if you're not on the damn field,
doesn't matter.
It means nothing.
Well,
because you know what? What you're missing is a chance to grow, build confidence. Coach builds confidence in you, but then also just earn your spot. Because when you're not doing it, somebody else is. And Kenyon Sadiq is the first guy that I was thinking about.
Well, so yesterday, and I've been doing this since camp started, I listen to what Aaron Glenn has to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to everything.
A butthole.
Wow. I mean, besides that. And so his update on Kenyon Sadiq yesterday actually relaxed me. Right. Now, I don't know if he was speaking out of his...
A butthole.
But he said, we have him on a pitch count. He is coming off this hernia surgery, and so there are going to be days where he practices, like a few days earlier, and there are going to be days in which he's limited. So I guess based on that, today he did practice, and something happened to re-aggravate the hernia recovery. What would that even be?
I mean, I don't know. It's probably an internal, because it's an internal organ. Like something is protruding through the muscle. That's what a hernia is. And so you fix it, you stitch it up, and you hope that it holds. It probably didn't hold.
Great. So this could be a major setback then.
It could be, or could be nothing.
Glenn did add that he still would expect him for week 1, but he doesn't know how long he's out.
What is he doing if he doesn't practice all preseason?
As a rookie,
that's my point. Like,
he's not going to play as a rookie if he doesn't practice.
Right. If you're not stacking successes day over day over day in training camp, you are not playing. I love that you want to just throw a kid out there.
He's not playing.
Good luck, man.
No.
I know you haven't practiced. You have no idea what the physicality is like in the NFL, but you know what? You got a cool name, right? Like, what are we talking about?
I think it's more he could be healthy enough to play week 1, but he's not going to play week 1 because he's not going to practice at all or very little in his first training camp. So, yeah, that's sucky news. That's the thing about training camp I always get cautious about.
Yeah,
like, everything else is like, whatever, oh, Jackson Dart did this wrong, or, ooh, Geno Smith got picked off. Like, there's always positives and negatives because you're facing each other. So if the quarterback gets intercepted, you're celebrating, well, it was turned over by a Jet, right? Vice versa. It's the injuries. You just want to get through this in bubble wrap. So, little piece of bad news revolving around the Jets. We'll get back to your calls coming up, 888-808-1019. We've talked about injuries involving Aaron Judge. We'll listen to what Brian Cashman had to say specifically about that, and if that builds up your confidence, confuses you or makes you more negative? We'll get to all that coming up. It is Evan and Tiki with Sean Morash.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
This morning, the Atlanta Falcons reaching agreement on a contract extension with star running back Bijan Robinson. Bijan is obviously one of the best backs in football, and I think Atlanta's offense will be better than people expect this year if Tua Tagovailoa is the starting quarterback, to go along with Bijan, to go along with Drake London, and to go along with Kyle Pitts. I think the Atlanta Falcons, if Tua plays, will win the NFC South. I'm Nick Costos.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. Last week, Buffalo was trading at 8%, meaning a $100 trade would pay out $1,174 if they take home the title. On Kalshi, as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Download the Kalshi app and use code UPDATE to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it's legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. Bonus credits do not expire. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Don't waste time looking for the lowest price on Bridgestone tires, because when it comes to Bridgestone tires, nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. That's right, you get the guaranteed lowest price, plus the most free services for life on your new Bridgestone tires. Town Fair Tire is the area's largest discount tire dealer with over 125 locations. Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Allstate is New York's trusted auto insurer, protecting cars across the state. From Buffalo to the Brooklyn Bridge, we're by your side when you need us most, providing you with affordable auto coverage you can rely on. So, switch to Allstate today, and you could save $900 on auto insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate. Based on the national average annual savings for new auto customers surveyed in 2025 who switched to Allstate and reported savings, potential savings and availability varies by state.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the New York community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating and 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, $1 small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Back to school starts now.
Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Busy show. We'll get to Post It and Toast It coming up at 11:30, and even some thoughts on what the Mets did at the trade deadline. But Brian Cashman yesterday, after his quiet trade deadline, I can't say it's like completely quiet because they did make two trades for a right-handed hitting outfielder in Heliot Ramos and obviously Luis García Jr., but a trade deadline that left you wanting more.
Just call it his worst deadline in a decade. That's all you got to say. It doesn't mean it was a complete failure because of Luis García Jr., but it was his worst deadline in a decade.
How do you define worst deadlines? Because I heard Big Mac say that too.
Okay.
How do you define that? Because I can counter it.
Here's how I would define it. Obvious, beyond debate pressing needs that simply were not addressed at all.
Okay. I think I buy that. That's a good answer. You got me on that one.
Okay.
Because there are other deadlines where they did very little. There are other deadlines where it just didn't work out.
But you all have to relate that to where they are, standings, all of that stuff.
I got you. I think that's completely fair. Well, Brian Cashman met the media, and so I dove into listening everything he had to say so you didn't have to hear the monotony of 25 minutes of Brian circling around. So let's get to the Judge stuff, because I know that is of interest to many a Yankee fan.
Yes.
So he was asked, very simply, what's the plan right now with Aaron Judge? This is Cashman 4.
I think we'll keep playing it the way we played it before. You know, we have said we're going to re-image. We're not going to say when that's going to come, but it's going to help guide us clearly about, you know, where he's at in that healing process and when we can be in a position to clear him, to do more than he's been able to do thus far, because the most important aspect is providing the time to heal. So, but I'm not going to say when that date is going to be.
Why not? Like, that would be my fault. Why not?
Like,
Like,
it puts pressure on Aaron Judge to now get back before that date.
Okay,
on that date.
What are you basing it on? How about that follow-up question? Like, what are you waiting for Aaron to say something to you? Are you waiting for the doctors to tell you? Like, what is the moment they say, okay, now's the time for the reimaging? That's my thought. That's all I can think of, because that's a non-answer.
Yeah.
It's basically nothing's changing.
But I also feel like so much of this is on Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge now has to feel good. It's obviously the imaging will tell you whatever, but if he still can't do stuff without feeling discomfort or pain, then it doesn't matter what Brian Cashman says.
You know what I would do? And I would never have said this 6 months ago, but I'm going to say it today because I have conquered the MRI machine. The MRI machine is my bitch, okay? And I'm sure Big Tough Aaron Judge has also conquered the MRI machine. I would say to Brian Cashman, I'll take a freaking MRI daily. That's what we'll do. Stick me in the what else am I doing? Like, literally,
Right.
I can't do baseball activities. I can't do upper body strength. What am I doing all day? So I would just get an MRI every day.
A recumbent bike?
What?
Just the sit-down bike?
Oh, that sucks.
It's like, what are you doing?
I've never understood biking when you can't go somewhere. Doesn't make sense to me. All right, how about this follow-up? Brian, is it possible Aaron Judge doesn't return this season?
I think that question is a fair question on anybody's side. Like, is that possible? It's always possible that things don't go the way you want, you know, but we currently are still very optimistic that he's going to return. But there's challenges with all that too. While he's returning, whenever that time frame is, and ramping him up and getting his timing down, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I can't rule out any of it, but I know that I can only follow the guidelines so far, that the timeline and the time frame, a pretty high likelihood and optimism that, he fits that time frame for him to get back and join us. And that's what I'm hoping and holding on to. And I know that that's what he believes, and I know that's what the doctors believe. But, it's always a moving target too, and until you get closer to the comfort of deployment, you can start actually doing physical baseball activities and you're cleared, the healing's enough, et cetera. That's when you get a much better picture of how much longer this is going to take. So whenever we re-image, we'll get a better idea.
That is an art form. He talked out of both sides, every corner of his mouth.
Yeah, he spoke for 2 minutes and said, essentially, I don't know.
Yes. And that is my biggest takeaway, Tiki, because I've heard the conspiracies that his actions at the deadline tell us something or his answer tells us something. I believe that Brian Cashman, and by Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone too, have absolutely no freaking clue about the health of Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
They have no idea. And I think in many ways, you're right. That was a minute and a half's way of saying, I don't know. He didn't rule out he's going to miss the year. He's like, you never know.
Right.
But we're optimistic, but we're hopeful. Like, Brian Cashman has no idea. So anyone who thinks his actions or lack thereof is a sign of knowledge they're not telling us, I don't think there's anything like that going on. I think genuinely the human body is confusing, and they have no idea.
Look, I agree with you. I don't think there was a conspiracy, but he said for the first time that anybody between Boone and Cashman has said it. He opened the door that he is not returning. Like, he started with the optimism, he ended with the optimism by him saying, I don't know, is it a possibility? Sure. They had not spoke like that yet. And I thought that was really, really telling, which I think adds up to the deadline to this extent. Also, you didn't hear that Judge basically was like a deadline acquisition, which we would have been hearing that rhetoric if they were confident he was coming back.
You know what I start to feel? I don't know why, just from you explaining or talking about what Cashman was saying, Sean, I feel like the difference with the fan and the front office, and this is also Boone as well, is that they act, talk, and behave like there's no urgency.
Yes.
Like it's, we'll see when we get there. It'll be all right.
Right.
These guys are fine. They're ball players. They make mistakes. It's okay. It's don't worry about it. We got time. Like it's all right in front of us. Like all these things, they're non-urgent.
He basically said it's right in front of us.
That's the right word.
But it's not urgent.
Right.
Whereas the fan is like, dude, the Rays are pulling away from us. The Red Sox are on our ass about to pass us, and you guys are cool.
Yeah. and next year plays into that, Tiki. And I know that
but
we shouldn't.
You can just feel they're chill about it.
Yes,
they're chill,
and it's troublesome.
And they're not panicky. And in some ways that's fine because honestly that's the personality that I have. I don't worry about things. Like I'm chill all the time. It'll work itself out. I'll find a way to get it done. But I'm talking about how I'm getting my kids to cheer camp.
Yeah, but I got to follow up with something though on you.
Are we going on vacation or this is the job.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Let's say Brian Cashman secretly knew Judge isn't coming back.
Yeah.
Okay? Didn't say it, but let's say privately he knows that. Mm-hmm. What would he or should he have done differently at the trade deadline? It's a good question. What's your answer, sir, the senator from Virginia? What's your answer? I'll let Sean too. I'm curious.
That's a good question.
Oh, okay. Because you brought up urgency. And tones of voices we can criticize, but I'm about actions.
Yes.
So what I want to know from you and you is if secretly they know he's literally not coming back, what should he have done differently?
I'll tell you.
And if you say sell, I'm going to slap you across the face.
No. It's just an easy answer.
Who was the biggest bat traded?
Luis García Jr.
But Evan, this is why the conspiracy flares go up.
Or Luis Arise. Yes.
Yeah, but he's not a big.
He's not a big bat. He's one of the better bats.
He's going to win the batting title.
But this is the point, though, with Garcia Jr. and adding him. His addition makes it feel like either Judge or Stanton was coming back, because if you had all of them available, Luis García Jr. might be sitting on the bench in the postseason.
But they're not here today.
Okay,
They're trying to win the division.
But hear me out. They put the resources into adding that first. What I would have done differently is, on top of that, I've covered my ground if those guys don't come back.
Right.
I get aggressive for a catcher and a bullpen
But
arm.
he should have done that anyway. That's my point.
Exactly.
So then him
but
being
the lack
out,
of no. But the lack of urgency to do that is why people have tinfoil hats going.
Okay.
You know.
So what Evan said? Evan's question was right. What should they have done? Exactly what they did do. They got Luis García Jr. I'm not even talking about what they did or what their actions are. I'm just talking about why we get frustrated with them.
I agree with that part.
We get frustrated with Brian Cashman and call for his job and say he shouldn't have job security and fire him and he stinks, even though it's not true based on his long resume. Same thing with Aaron Boone, with his lack of accountability perceptually for his players, that they can get away with anything.
Even when
they're underperforming, it's just fine. They'll figure it out. It must be intentional, because it's team wide. They just take a laissez-faire, we're chill, we're not going to panic attitude.
But you're agreeing it's not the actions, it's the way they're speaking.
It's the way they're addressing us.
Okay. Because the actions wouldn't have been different. That's the point. Right. They aren't. Look, they should have been more aggressive to trade for a catcher. I agree. Mm-hmm. As soon as Sean was done with his awesome Senate floor passionate rant against Cashman, I co-signed the catcher thing. But I don't think it changes based on Judge's health or non-health. And so I don't think his actions would have been different.
Right.
It's just, the PR battle, they tend to lose. But they don't do well with PR with Yankee fans.
But this is where his comments bother you and piss you off. And when Tiki brings up the urgency, I'm just tired, and I'm sure a lot of Yankee fans are, of being treated like we're morons. Do fans fly off the handle, including me, and say a lot of stupid things that maybe 2 weeks later you regret? But here's the truth. We're not idiots when it comes to literal things like time. 9 weeks from tonight is Game 1 of the American League Wild Card Series. That sound like a long time?
No.
We know the calendar. And if you're telling us you're not sure what a re-imaging date is, we also know what baseball rehab looks like. Once you get a re-imaging, you can start even lifting a bat again. It's 2 weeks for that. Then it's 2 weeks for this. Then it's work and shop in. Time is officially against the expectation that Aaron Judge should come back. The reporters know it. The fans know it. Deep down, the Yankees know it. So when you talk the way you talk and there's no sense of urgency, you're making it sound like the rest of us are morons and you're hiding something. And that pisses me off.
I get you. My guess is, and Tiki, you'd have a better answer on this, the moment the imaging is positive, I think it's a month. Is that a fair guess?
Because you got to build back up.
Everything.
Yes.
So if it's a month, based on your calendar and clock talk, if somehow he got cleared tomorrow, we're talking first week of September. Awesome.
But he doesn't know or won't tell us when the re-imaging's coming.
Correct. So they have another month for this to be cleaned up. If he's not cleared by the first week of September, we're not seeing him.
And even if he is, you're still talking about the ramp up of what, he's going to just parachute in Game 1 of the Wild Card Series and Aaron Judge?
That was my prediction.
But the point is, though, and then there's
ago.
a thought of, well, how good is Aaron Judge fresh off the couch like Justin Pugh in a Sunday night game?
I don't know that, but I know that Kyle Schwarber got off his couch in the World Series in 2016.
The one example a decade ago. What are you, Big Mac with that?
No, that's not, because what other example is there, Sean?
What other example is there?
Cite me all the guys that came off that couch and played in the World Series after not playing in the regular season. Name me the list. I want to hear the whole list.
Because it doesn't happen, because you need to get back to get yourself back in. How about the guys that come off the couch in September and don't stink until October?
No, that's my point. You're right, it's rare, Teague. I totally admit that. But the reason guys like Big Mac or I are going to bring up Kyle Schwarber is because there's not even another example of a guy attempting to do it, let alone doing it successfully. So that's why I'll say Kyle Schwarber.
And prior to 2016, how many guys with the playoff reputation of overthinking swings mentally have come off the couch and done it? Schwarber didn't have the history Judge does, and I love Judge, but let's be honest, we've seen it be a mental game for him.
I don't know. I saw Schwarber get bitch slapped by the Mets in 2015, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Way to bring everything back to the Mets.
Well, it was his playoff series prior. It was a year earlier. Let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019. Elliot is in Brooklyn. What's up, Elliot?
Hey, guys. While this is not what I wanted to talk about, I will say that you guys are by far the best sports show on the radio.
Why was that not what you wanted to talk about?
Yeah.
That seems like a
No,
fine read.
it really isn't.
That's very
I'll
nice.
tell you, not only are you guys very talented, you work very well together and are always extremely well prepared. Thought I would say
That last part we take a lot of pride in. Me
Yes.
and Tiki, not as much Sean, take a lot of pride in that comment. Thank you very much.
Sean just
I
leads
hear
with
you.
emotion.
Why? Why I have to listen to stale banter in the afternoon now is another question.
No. We're not going to take the compliment and then bash our teammates. So that part you ruined. All right? So take that back.
Anyways, go ahead.
I'm not a Yankee fan. Listen, guys, I'm not a Yankee fan. I can't defend why they didn't get a reliever, although I have my suspicions. The catcher situation is simple. Once they got Garcia, Hicks was not a fit at all. He just wasn't a fit. They don't need a guy who can catch a couple of days a week and is going to turn into another DH. And
Right,
they don't
Liam.
need another guy who can't defend. Now, the Rutschman thing is easily explainable. Think of the offer they had on the table that they took from Boston.
Yeah, it was big.
a ridiculously high offer. And the Yankees would have had to better that ridiculously high offer.
Right.
And the Yankees couldn't do it. They couldn't give more than what Boston gave. I mean, other than handing the keys to the farm system and saying, oh, by the way, take the whole farm system, and whoever you can't give room and board to, we'll take the rest of the guys. I mean, other than that, what did you want him to do?
Okay, so the Rutschman thing I'll agree with. I want to go back to Liam Hicks. He's right that Liam Hicks has spent half the season being the designated hitter for the Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much of that is the fact that Joe Mack is a really good young player who's all-world defensively, and the Marlins are just better off having him
I think
DH.
we had this similar conversation. I don't know if it was Liam Hicks, but it was another catching situation.
Ivan Herrera, the Cardinals, who you saw last night.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Why he doesn't catch.
Why he doesn't catch. Why he's DHing. And I asked, is this because the other younger catcher is just better?
That could be a part of it. I know in the Marlins case, because I've seen enough of them, that Joe Mack is awesome. That's an easy answer. And the way the Marlins were built, he was better off DHing. But, and I tried looking at Liam Hicks' sample size to get an idea of, like, is he a good defender? Is he not a good defender? I don't think it matters, because if I trade for Liam Hicks, I would deploy him in a way in which, yes, he's still left-handed, but he's such a good hitter that I can still take advantage of Austin Wells' defense, but have this weapon behind the plate that even if I'm catching 2-3 times a week, I can also use as a pinch hitter. And I would catch him more than 2-3 times a week.
Right.
I'm not trading for a guy to only play that limited amount of time. But I think with creativity, you could have had a combo of Hicks and Wells. And don't tell me, well, they're both left-handed. That doesn't work. Didn't we watch J.C. Escara and Austin Wells as a tandem for a while? So I disagree about the Hicks not being a fit part.
Yeah, but I think it's just more of a complicated fit.
It is.
Than someone who is a turnkey solution for what you need behind the dish as a defender, but also is going to hit the 280 like Liam Hicks is hitting right now. So it's just, I think neither one of them were ideal. Adley Rutschman, because of all
You know what's not ideal? Not doing anything,
True,
Teague.
but all the prospects you were likely going to have to give up, because we know the 3 that were given, and they also gave up a catcher. But then there's players to be named later. Like, there was a ton of...
According to Baseball Savant, Liam Hicks is slightly below average as a pitch framer. He is about average as a blocker on balls in the dirt.
Well, we'll take that.
And his biggest concern is his throwing. That he has a tough time throwing guys out trying to steal. Okay. I mean, that's not enough for me to not want to play that guy 4 or 5 times a week if he's producing for me. But no, he's not Pudge Rodriguez.
Right.
But that to me was not enough to say I can't trade for that player.
True, and he's under control for a while. But the question then becomes, who is Pudge Rodriguez? Like,
No, but he was available.
Not available, but in the future, like, where are you finding someone better?
There's not a lot of great catchers, but let me point this out about Hicks in this world in which they did trade for him, because I think it was a mistake that they didn't. Right now, in this moment, August 4th, August 5th, the Yankees are desperate for offense.
Yes.
So in this moment, you say, hey, defense kind of sucks. We're taking a little bit of a downgrade with Hicks versus Wells, but we need the offense. Now let's flash forward to late September. And in this crazy world, Aaron Judge is healthy. Giancarlo Stanton is healthy. And the Yankees are back to slugging. All of a sudden, then you could say, you know what, Liam's a good ball player, and that's a great piece to have off the bench, because we'd rather put the premium on defense.
Right.
It can change.
Yeah.
It's allowed to. But in this moment, it's about offense. And that's where I think they made a big mistake. And that's why I'm more annoyed about Hicks than I am Rutschman. I really am, because I can understand the
especially
concern.
because Rutschman's been out for 3 weeks now.
the annoyance with Rutschman is Boston's commentary on the idea that we owe it to go try for a World Series. And the fact that we don't hear that rhetoric anymore bothers me. And also, again, I'm just looking at this prospect list of what Baltimore gave up, and I did the math on who the Yankees have to give up. You should have had no problem.
You're
making that deal.
letting that clown.
Yeah,
and if
but
you don't believe me, ask anyone in Boston. Ask Carabas. You're letting that clown Craig Breslow piss you off?
Yes, I am.
They hate him up there.
That's great. We hate Cashman here, and he doesn't even say the right things like Breslow does.
By the way, you do realize that teams make the Yankees pay a premium.
Okay.
You do know that. You saw what the Dodgers asked the Yankees, or not the Dodgers, the Tigers asked the Yankees for Tarek Schoolboy versus what the Dodgers gave the Tigers.
Tiki, no doubt. But how about for once we pay the premium? Because they never do. They never do. And then you sit there at the same October press conference with the carving board out going, it's a crapshoot. You know why it's not a crapshoot? Because you refuse to pay the premium.
Do they really take the carving board out when they're recapping a bad season?
And he's out for another month with a jacked up wrist, doesn't do anything to help you, comes back, tries to hit in the postseason, and then just average.
We keep saying that. Why did the Red Sox do it? If he's out for another month.
So all of a sudden the Red Sox are the beacons of just brilliance, right?
Who seems like they've handled this summer better, the Yankees or the Red Sox?
Right now the Red Sox have played like one of the best teams in baseball, and I have nothing but respect for that.
Me too.
How did that Curtis Meade trade work out?
Okay, he got hurt right away.
Worked out? Oh, okay.
It worked out the same way Cashman's Austin Slater deal worked out last year.
They gave up Connolly early, this good, young, controllable starter for Curtis Meade. How's it working out since we're bowing down to the Red Sox?
He got hit by a pitch. Great. What if that happens to Luis García Jr. tonight? We're gonna kiss Cashman. We're gonna pull the McMonagle pucker up. That's what we're gonna do.
I'm not kissing the Yankees' ass. I'm calling the Red Sox out. I get that they're playing great. I respect what they've done.
I mean, we're acting like they traded Honus Wagner for Adley Rutschman.
Sean, let's stop acting like the Red Sox are the beacon of everything that's right in baseball.
Right.
Let's see if the Adley Rutschman deal even works out for them.
Yeah, let's see. But you know what? We won't even get to see that with the Yankees. You know what deal's not working out for the Yankees? Ollie Sanchez sailing balls to the outfield late in games because you got to pinch it for Austin Wells because he's too busy eating burritos. That's why. With his stupid Instagram page.
Let us say good morning or afternoon to Ari in West Orange. Hey, Ari.
What up, Ari?
Hi, how you doing? Hi, thanks for taking the call. Appreciate it. Been a little while since I spoke to you guys. So
appreciate it.
Yeah. Just with the, I can't disagree with a lot of what you guys have said, especially, with, and I called about this before with Cashman, because I just call him King Cashman at this point. I mean, this guy can do nothing whatsoever to get him fired, and that definitely plays into the lack of urgency. You saw it in 2023, which the trade deadline, I remember was a total slap in the face because everyone was arguing about whether they should buy or sell because they were like right around 500 at the time, and instead he just did nothing and got a reliever.
Right.
And this to me is a little reminiscent of that because let's be honest. Yes, Garcia is a good player; he makes the offense better. But at the end of the day, he's a left-handed hitting first baseman, and that hits power, which the Yankees already have. And Ramos is he's a right-handed hitter outfielder, which he's not really good defensively.
Right. Yeah, but here's where I think you're shortchanging this because again, I'm gonna rip what I don't like. We just did it with the whole catching stuff. Luis Garcia was probably the best or close to the best bat moved at the trade deadline. Like I said the other day, Garcia versus Arise is like an interesting debate. It's about what you prefer, bat on ball, less home runs, higher batting average, whatever. He's one of the best bats moved, and you need it. You have one of the worst offenses in baseball over the last month and a half. I get the position fit isn't perfect in the short term, but I can't crap on that move or say it was unnecessary when you're rolling out there one of the worst offenses in baseball. And they needed a right-handed bat in the outfield. They do. So while Heliot Ramos is certainly not perfect, he swings and misses a lot. He's a bad defender. He's really a platoon player in a perfect world. I get that. He ain't perfect. Did they not need a right-handed bat in the outfield?
Yes, they did.
Just because you're pissed about catcher, which I am too, or pissed off about the bullpen, which is fair, you can't take moves that make sense and just crap on it because you're mad about other things.
Right, you can't crap on the ones that they did do because you're mad about the ones they didn't. That's what it comes down to.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
We'll play a game of Posted and Toasted coming up, plus a lot more of your reaction to what the Yankees didn't do. 888-808-1019. And Met fans will spend a brief amount of time talking about what they did at the trade deadline. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by Jag Physical Therapy. Jag Physical Therapy is growing in Morristown, New Jersey, with 2 locations in Morristown and 10 throughout Morris County. Their expert clinicians are ready to help you recover, rebuild strength, and help you get back the life you love. For more information or to make an appointment at any of their locations, visit jagpt.com.
The Yankees are in the Bronx taking on the Cardinals. 7:05 tonight.
Acrobatic throw, off balance, in time.
The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan, 101.9 FM, and available en Espanol on the free Odyssey app.
Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And that's not always an easy thing for me to achieve. But my friends at CertaPro Painters, they had no such problems. Big jobs or small, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call now at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. 1-800-GO-CERTA. Call CertaPro Painters today and get a no-nonsense free estimate on a professional job that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating and 10-year 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
This summer, cool down with Dunkin' Refreshers. Sip on black cherry or try the all-new pink pineapple. Or try one of their flavorful fan favorites like mango pineapple or strawberry dragon fruit. All of them are ice cold and refreshing. Dunkin' Refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. A whole lot of flavor and very refreshing. It's a sip of summer, only at Dunkin'. Dunkin' Refreshers are fruit-flavored, contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Terms and exclusions may apply.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
The appetite for destruction returns. Guns N' Roses. World Tour 2026.
Are burning down again. Another night, another song. Somebody check the office door. How does David Stern still have a job? How does David Stern still have a job? No, really, how does he still have a job? The Mets are a dumpster fire. The boy genius looks like a fraud. Cohen spent the money. Queens got stuck with the sobs. Somebody ask Harvard, how does David Stern still have a job? Here comes the man from Milwaukee with a spreadsheet and a grin. Said he'd bring smart baseball to Queens, then let the losing begin. Evan Roberts on Rico Bronya is cooking him every night, reading off the receipts like scripture, and buddy, none of it sounds right. They called him the boy genius, they called him Milwaukee's son, but all he...
You got to appreciate that. You got to appreciate that garbage. You have to appreciate that the 2026 New York Mets, the worst. You got to appreciate that. You got to appreciate that garbage. You have to appreciate.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Partly sunny, high 84.
Weather brought to you by Staples. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Your New York Yankees are chasing another championship. Talk Yankees baseball with the Fan at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
The Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. A little less than an hour ago, we gave the update from Jet Camp about Kenyon Sadiq and his injury situation. Well, let's hear from the Jets head coach, Aaron Glenn.
So Sadiq, as I said yesterday on the maintenance program, from yesterday, he had a little setback as we watched his exams. So he'll be out a little bit. All right, I can't tell you exactly how long right now, but I will let you know that at some point. But just expect him to be out for a little bit. But he's working his way back.
Well, that's good news. The Fan Focus was sponsored by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
You can see how Aaron Glenn is trying to be helpful with the media this year.
Yeah, he's trying to be optimistic and straightforward. And
I'll tell you, as soon as I know, I'll let you know.
Well, who was it that he got mad at? Samini? Who did he get mad at
last year? I think Costello.
Costello, right.
He gave crap to Costello.
Right, because he was reporting stuff about injuries that he didn't know.
Did I say that?
Nobody else was supposed to be talking about.
No, it was Samini because he said, why don't you go ask Rich? He seems to know everything.
I thought it was Rich.
Maybe it was.
Right.
I think he went after both those guys at different points.
No, he did.
Because as you recall, last year, Aaron Glenn.
A butthole.
His words, not mine.
A butthole.
It is time on this beautiful Tuesday, a little after 11:30, to play the ever-popular game, Posted and Toasted.
It's time for Posted and Toasted.
Posted and toasted in 1, 2, 3. Posted and toasted where Evan finds the treats. Posted and toasted will Tiki guess them right. It's posted and toasted time.
And of course, Posted and Toasted brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. Injured, visit injurylawyer.com, and Princeton Longevity Center. Experience the power of personalized medicine. I will read you an old tweet from one of our fellow F-fan coworkers, and Tiki Barber will tell us who was the person that posted it, and maybe we'll toast them. Are you ready?
Tiki, I saw you carry a ball over here once.
Oh, wait, wrong game.
That's New Team Who Dis, which returns, what day do we do that? Thursday. Yes. Anyhow, this post is from July 31st, 2015, the old MLB trade deadline.
2015?
Yep. I am thrilled. And by the way, thrilled is in all capital letters. I am thrilled the Yankees stood pat. Don't trade away the next 10 years for this year. Good job, Brian Cashman.
That's Sean Morash.
Kiss my fat ass!
Was that predictable?
That's when you were shilly.
What year was this?
You
I'm
were
sorry, I missed
shilly.
2015.
11 years ago.
Okay, so by the way,
No,
11 years, it changes.
You're mid-20s then.
Yes. Had some hair.
If you recall, the Yankees made the playoffs that year. They hosted the wild card game at the time against the Astros.
Dallas Keuchel.
And they lost at Yankee Stadium. Masahiro Tanaka versus Dallas Keuchel. Any regrets about that tweet 11 years ago?
No, I think you're allowed to have something said 11 years ago where time changes, yes.
No, but I mean, any regrets about that season, obviously. Every trade deadline is different. I meant 2015 in general.
Yes, although I got to be honest. If you were going to end up in the wild card game and you didn't win the division, I think Keuchel was beating whoever he faced that night.
Certainly possible. Certainly possible. All right, post number 2. This is from April 11th, 2023. Was it fair when Matthew played soccer as Martha in Ladybugs? Even head coach Chester Lee eventually figured it out. Until he coached Little League, that is. Great movie, way ahead of its time.
That's like what? That's got to be Al Dudes.
You're wrong.
How is that not Al
Did
Dudes?
you get the movie reference that was being made?
Ladybugs?
Oh, you've seen it?
Yes.
Classic movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the best part of that,
who the hell is thinking about Ladybug?
the best part is that it's true. Great movie, way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That is
That's true. Who would be that thoughtful? I'm so lost.
What year was this?
This was 2023, April 11th, 2023.
So lost on this one.
I think we stumped you. Would you like me to tell you who
Big
it
Mac?
is? That would be.
No,
you said Big Mac?
not Big
You're
Mac.
wrong.
Not Big Mac. He doesn't have girls.
Blowing and sucking.
The answer is
one of those woke libtards.
Craig Carton.
Craig?
Yeah, it's a Craig tweet. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Wait, you don't think he tweets about movies?
Why is he watching Ladybug?
I mean, it is a classic movie.
It is, but
Rodney Dangerfield, I know he's the comedian, obviously, who gets no respect, but pretty good actor.
Yeah.
He gave you some classics. Did you know, and I apologize, everything comes back to the Mets, that the Mets used to have a tradition with Rodney Dangerfield? Are you aware of this?
no, I'm not at all.
So the saying was the second day of the baseball season would get no respect. So on the second day of the baseball season, Rodney Dangerfield would throw out the first pitch. I got no respect. Ron Darling would start. Rodney Dangerfield would throw out the first pitch. How about that? All right, how about this post? This is from October 10th, 2022. Hugh Jackson, Greg Williams, Freddie Kitchens, Kevin Stefanski, and now Matt Rule are all victims of Baker-itis. The virus is real. Stay away from it. And, of course, this is timely because I know on Friday, Tiki suggested that if Baker isn't happy in Tampa, the Jets should go trade for him. So who created the term Baker-itis?
Boomer.
Wow, you think Boomer did that?
So stupid.
That is incorrect.
No.
Not Boomer Esiason. Nope.
Baker-itis.
Baker-itis.
That's someone who knows football.
Don't say that.
Okay, maybe they don't know football.
I didn't say any of that.
Was this you, Evan?
No, it's not me.
Who was this then?
The answer is Craig Carton again.
Again?
Yeah, I tried to throw you off because I did two in a row, yeah. Do you think Craig knows football?
Yeah, I mean...
Sometimes.
Yes, of course he does.
Yes, of course. All right, here's a final post. This is a really interesting one. This is WFAN.
I don't expect Craig to tweet. That's why. I know he does, but I just don't expect
I
him.
don't think I've used a lot of Craig. So
Right.
the problem is, and this game's been going on
But
for a
does
few
he tweet
years.
a lot?
I wouldn't say a lot, but he tweets. But the problem with each individual, I used to tell you that. I love Sal, but Sal deleted a lot of his tweets prior to 2021. So they're all scrubbed. So it was always more difficult to find a Sal Licata tweet. Craig also changed his Twitter page at some point. Like, he didn't update it. Like, it's a completely new page. So every tweet from Craig is in the recent era.
Right.
There's nothing from his days with Boomer. So I'll never be, I guess I'm giving that away. So finding his tweets are more challenging.
Right.
Guys like me, Sean, Recco, Gio.
Just let your history live as it lives.
Oh, my God. We leave everything out there.
Got to take down a statue of me one day. You take it down.
You're funny. Speaking of the trade deadline, July 31st, 2014. It's MLB trade deadline day. I will be joining Mark Malusis as we fill in for Boomer and Carton. Who was filling in with Mark Malusis for Boomer and Carton on July 31st, 2014? And Sean, this is right up your alley, so you are free, of course, to guess as well.
Was that you?
Was it me?
Yes.
Why would it be me?
Because you're a baseball guy.
I'm the midday host at the time with Joe. Why am
I don't know. It's the summer. You could be like swapping slots.
I'll give you a that's a little fancy you got going on right there. My God. Swapping. Did you say swapping slots?
Yes.
Sounds like a Yankee trade from the 70s.
We'll have a threesome, okay?
I'm going to guess based on the time and the show, it's Gio.
You nailed it. Greg Giannotti. That's a good call by you.
Filling in on the show, he'd eventually...
Filling in on the show, he would eventually take over.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing and doing the show with Mark Malusis.
Going to guess he didn't talk Katie Nolan that day. He actually did Deadline.
Maybe. I mean, Katie Nolan's been around for a long time. Yeah, I saw Katie Nolan taking shots at Boomer Esiason. I didn't care about that part because who cares? Like, he thinks his opinions are dumb, whatever. We're not coworkers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean to, I guess I take that, not personal, but I used to work at Sirius. Right. I ain't working at Sirius
I
again.
used to work at Sirius as well.
Yeah, you did too. We're not working at Sirius. We're not coworkers
and we
with
know
anybody.
Spitz very well.
Well, yes, we do. I know a bunch of people very well.
Yes.
But I was texting a buddy of mine who's not on air, Nick, who I worked with back in 2004 at Sirius.
Nick.
His last name doesn't matter.
But I think I might know the same guy.
There's no way. He does production.
I know.
You really want me to say his last name on the radio?
I mean, why not? Unless you're going to tell a bad story about him.
No, I was just telling you that about a month ago when this agreement was announced, he's like, oh, we're coworkers. I was like, no, we're not. They ain't paying us. They just need more programming.
What's
so
his
they're
last
like,
name?
Pernisario.
I don't think so.
That's my guy. Known him since 2004. Big Saints fan. Speaking of which, I was in such an uncomfortable spot like 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you guys are off, but Boomer and Gio had Drew Brees on the show. Okay? I'm not one to do this, but my friend Nick is a diehard Saint fan.
Okay.
And I was like, is it weird to go up to Drew Brees and say, can you FaceTime my friend? And I thought about it because I was like, it was right around his birthday too. I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect. I'm going to FaceTime him. And if he doesn't pick up, fine, we'll record a video. And I chickened out. I didn't do it. I had too much respect for Al Dukes and Boomer and Gio. They booked the guy. He's a guest. I did not want to bother him. And so I've regretted it for 2 weeks. But the more I think about it, I think I made the right call, right?
Yeah, you definitely
I don't want to
did.
be a jerk.
Yeah. My Nick over there was Pavlatos.
Oh, Nick Pavlatos. That guy, I knew him too. He was great. He was fantastic. He ran the NFL channel, I think.
That's because me and Rondé had the barbershop.
There you go. So the point is, no ill will towards Sirius. We're not coworkers.
Right. No.
Right.
But we will be broadcast on Sirius XM, wherever you listen to your radio and sports.
Yeah.
Come September 3rd.
They wanted more compelling programming.
Yes.
So they're like, let's bring on some Odyssey stations. Anyhow, posted and toasted every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. right here on Evan and Tiki with Sean Morash.
Yeah, I sucked on that one.
It's okay. Sean did a good job.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mike in Cedar Grove. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Thanks for taking the call. Just want to share my frustration, obviously, with the Yankees. I think I'm probably on an equal status of with C-Mac and Morash in terms of their frustration. And just going to throw out a couple points if you stay with me. But number one, Teak, I think you brought up a great point a few minutes ago when you talked about like sense of urgency in terms of there is none. And I, unfortunately, I think that starts with Hal Steinbrenner. I mean, would it kill us to hear from Hal Steinbrenner once in a while? And Ev, you're going to appreciate this reference, but Hal Steinbrenner is kind of like the Mitch McConnell of Major League Baseball owners. You don't know if the guy's dead or alive. I mean, you don't hear from him. Where is that sense of urgency?
Proof of life.
Obviously,
Proof of life.
down to
Please,
Cashman.
please, proof of life. Please.
The only reason I don't share that agreement with you, I did with the Mets. I don't with the Jets sometimes. I do or I don't with it all depends on the situation. I want to hear from the owner in which it's an ownership issue.
Yeah, this is not that.
This is not. Brian Cashman is the general manager of the team. We all know what his track record is. And it was his decision. Like, this wasn't about money. Like, there was no deal, in my opinion, just looking at it from afar, that wasn't made because Hal Steinbrenner doesn't want to write a check. There was none of that.
Right.
It was simply, do you want to give up prospects? And so because of that, I think Brian Cashman is the one that needs to answer questions, which he did. And I think hearing from Hal Steinbrenner, while, sure, it never hurts to talk, I got no issue with that, I don't feel like a need that you have to. So I think during the offseason, yes, I think during every offseason, ownership should make themselves available and ask the questions, kind of state of the team. But trade deadline interview of Hal Steinbrenner?
It's not necessary. Because what's he going to tell you? He's operating from the business side of this thing, wondering how many butts are in seats and sponsorships and whatever other debt issues they got to worry about. It's not managing day-to-day operations of who's taking at bats.
Plus,
who's playing first base.
If you ask him, and if you ask him that question, you know what his answer is going to be? Ask Cash.
Right. I hire somebody to do that.
Yeah.
and then he hires somebody else to actually do it on the field.
Let's take the guy whose subject title is Morash is embarrassing. Today's been a very pro day of Sean Morash. Let's hear from the other side with Anthony in Old Bridge, New Jersey. What's up, Anthony?
Anthony, what's up?
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it having me on. So I am a Yankee fan, so don't misunderstand this. I am frustrated with some of the lack of moves. But to come on the radio and scream and rant and make it almost unlistenable about something we truly don't know. Would we have liked to have a catcher? Yes. We don't know what they are asking, and Tiki nailed it. There's a Yankee tax. People want to think it's not real. It's real. Why are we going to overpay for something that doesn't make sense? It doesn't mean there was an attempt to make the team better. It just doesn't make sense to me to come on the radio and scream about nonsense and Adley Rutschman's not going to play till mid-August. He's got a bad wrist, and we don't know what they wanted from the Yankees. Like, are you going to be willing to give up players that may potentially play down in this stretch, if not be starters next year? So it doesn't make any sense to get on the radio and scream. Yes, I'm all here. I'm here. I'm listening, buddy.
Do you think that only George Lombard was asked for in deals, or do you think they could have made a deal without George Lombard? For anybody.
They absolutely could have made a deal.
Okay, so then why do you care about anybody not in George Lombard?
Everybody was on the table to trade, but the problem is you're not sitting in the room. You don't know what they
kidding.
Them. It doesn't make But
so it makes more sense. Anthony, come on, I don't want to yell, man.
You don't make a deal.
Anthony,
you don't make a deal for the sake of making a deal.
How about you make a deal to make the team better? They're not fielding major league competence at the catcher position.
I don't disagree with you, but
so your plan is with this year, and then maybe no baseball this year. What? Hope that you go all in when Aaron Judge is 39 years old. Is that the plan?
I mean, at the end of the day, if there's no baseball next year, it has nothing to do with the Yankees. It's everything the fact that the Dodgers have ruined baseball, and whether they want
that's a separate argument. All right, Anthony.
But whether they want, yes, I'm listening, bro.
We may not have another shot at this for a year and a half, and Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole are going to be how old by then? You don't think there should have been a little more urgency?
Is Adley Rutschman going to make us win the World Series with or without Aaron Judge?
Certainly a better addition than playing what we did at catcher, yes. Yes.
I don't disagree, but at the end of the day, I don't think getting Adley Rutschman is going to put us over the top.
You're acting like he's Kyle Higashioka here. I mean, geez. He's one of the 6 best catchers in baseball.
Overall pick. He's not even that good. He's getting replaced by Busulo next year.
You know what? I'm so glad you mentioned that. The best I could compare Adley Rutschman to. I think I did this yesterday with you, Evan. And Tiki.
Good job, Anthony.
That was a good job. Sean wanted to cut him off like 3 different times.
Because it's just
but he kept going. He's like, damn, I don't know how to cut him off.
I can't have an argument with somebody who goes, well, you don't know what they were asking. No kidding. But my point is, I have to be more open-minded.
Okay, I don't know who. What I sent this, guys. I sent this to you. I don't know who was reporting this. I don't even know if it was true. But I'm just going to take it at face value. That the the Tigers were asking the Yankees for Ben Rice, Lombard, and Cam Schlittler.
That was before the season when their asks were ridiculous to everybody.
Right. But whatever. And what they gave Tariq Skubal to the Dodgers for was River Ryan, who's a 27-year-old prospect.
He's Juan Soto's age.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's in the minors.
Yes.
He pitched 4 games 2 years ago in Major League Baseball. Zaire Hope and Brady Smith were both 21-year old So
you can't compare that to the ask before the season, Tiki. That's not fair.
I know
because that's not what they were asking the Yankees for 5 days ago.
But what were they asking the Yankees for 5 days ago?
Based on Brian Cashman's answer, which I could play if you want to hear, they were clearly asking for George Lombard Jr.
Yeah. And I'm okay not doing that for a rental in Skubal. And I'm also okay not doing it for Adley Rutschman. What Boston gave up was, despite the big haul, was not George Lombard Jr. The Yankees had other comparable prospects to that in the MLB pipeline.
It was a lot. It was 3 prospects and Narvaez.
Yep.
And then players to be named later.
Yeah, it was a big haul. But the point remains.
For a guy who's injured.
Yeah. Okay, everybody keeps about this injured thing. If he's back in 2 weeks, who cares?
But, bro, he's been out since mid-July.
Okay, but he's not.
He's also spent a few times on the injured list, and it's a wrist injury.
Okay, great.
We saw how long it took Francisco Lindor to come back from a wrist injury. We saw how long it took your catcher. What am I
Francisco Alvarez? He came back quick, actually.
I know, but he wasn't good.
Maniac.
But he wasn't good.
And he's still under control for another year. He's one of the 6-7 best catchers in baseball. Like, this is something you have to consider at a position. It's hard to find these guys.
I understand
It's also not just an upgrade. They literally are playing with 8 of 9 guys as a result of their catcher position. You have to be more aggressive considering the timetable of this core. And Brian Cashman just keeps kicking the can down the road. And then in the end, we're going to look back and look at Aaron Judge's failures and have his whole legacy dependent on why he didn't get it done. And we're going to look back and remember that Brian Cashman wasn't as all in as he should have been down the stretch of his career.
Anthony is out in Arizona. What's shaking, Anthony?
Hey, guys. First, I just want to say, Tiki, thank you for all the years you played for the Giants.
I appreciate
I'm a
it.
huge fan, huge Giant fan, and I'm a huge Yankee fan. And going back to Gene Michael and Brian Cashman, this is the first year I've ever seen Brian Cashman where we didn't come out with anything really except another first baseman, another outfielder. So my question is this. Everyone talks about, Judge being 39 and us not doing the right thing to get him another player so he can put Judge and the Yankees over the edge to win it all. Do you think if the Yankees got this catcher, Rushman, with or without Judge, they could win it all?
Well, two things. Aaron Judge is not 39. He's 34, so maybe you're talking about what he will be in 5 years.
Right.
The Yankees, I'm going to blow your mind right now. And I know it's going to annoy Sean, but it's the truth. The New York Yankees can win a world championship without Aaron Judge. Is it likely?
Yeah, unlikely, but yeah.
Of course they can. They have one of the best rotations in the sport.
That's exactly right.
So going into a short series against Boston, Tampa Bay, and whatever crap they would see in the American League Championship Series, yeah, I think a rotation led by Garrett Cole, Max Fried, and even Cam Schlittler, who had a rough night last night, they are capable of it. Can they win every game 2-1 and 1-0? Sure. Can they use their starters to help out an undermanned bullpen? See the Nationals in 2019. Of course they can. So the Yankees can win a championship with or without Aaron Judge, but the odds are higher when Judge is healthier, much like the odds are higher if they went out and got a real catcher.
Right.
But the crazy thing about baseball is this, and this is not me being positive. This is reminding you that baseball makes no freaking sense. Is it also possible that Austin Wells has a freeness, that Austin Wells all of a sudden is relaxed, and all of a sudden Austin Wells over the next 2 months shows us what he's capable of and makes up for lost time and mashes behind the plate? Of course it is. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't be confident in it, but I've seen guys acquired at trade deadlines who suck. We've all seen it. Right. Hello, Camilo Doval and Ryan Helsley. And I've seen guys come out of absolute nowhere like Cody Ross and help a team win a championship. So the beauty of baseball is that none of us know what will happen in the last few months, but what Sean is saying and many Yankee fans are saying is you want to improve your chances. That's it. And acquiring a real catcher, and obviously Aaron Judge being healthy, doesn't guarantee you anything, but it improves your chances. The LA Dodgers are not a lock to win the World Series. But you know what they did by acquiring Tarek Skubal?
They gave themselves ridiculous options and from a rotation standpoint.
Yeah, and they improved their chances.
100%.
But I'm going to say it again, and I don't care if I'm going to be wrong for a third straight year.
Blake Snell still got to pitch.
Yeah.
Ohtani's got to get healthy.
You know what else they have to do, Tiki? They've lost 4 in a row.
I know.
There's a chance they don't get a first-round bye.
That's right.
And then they're in a best-of-3 like they were last year. And there's a chance that any team, even the LA Dodgers, could lose 2 out of 3 to anybody.
That's right.
And I'm telling you right now, look into my eyes when I say this because you're the biggest Dodger shill walking.
I am not. I'm just an explainer of the Dodgers.
They are not winning or getting to the World Series in 2026.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it.
Save it.
Oh, my God.
What? I've said this 2 years in a row, and I'm going to say it again.
You might as well have Joe Davis start playing in the speech now.
Yoshi Yamamoto.
Did you hear what he just said?
What did I say?
I've said this 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
Remind me who won the last 2.
Exactly. I've been wrong 2 years in a row.
This is why he gets no credit.
Ohtani.
What? Is why I get what?
No credit. They're not going to win 12 in a row. So as long as you keep saying this, eventually you're going to go, pull the audio. I told you. Pull the audio.
Well, because baseball is fickle, man.
Yeah,
and what they've done
not
the
as
last
fickle as it used to be.
Because the Dodgers somehow beat the Padres in a series they shouldn't have won. And because they beat the Blue Jays in a series they shouldn't have won.
And a bunch of shouldas. And doesn't that show you that the Padres and the Blue Jays, as much as they tried and they thought they had him won, the Dodgers are so loaded and keep loading themselves up. It takes like 15 stabs to kill that team.
In 1998 and 1999, I'll use those two as an example. Was there any shouldas? Or did the Yankees leave no freaking doubt?
Any what?
Was there any shouldas in 98 or 99?
Oh, my God, yeah.
What did you think I said?
I can't say what I thought you said.
Yeah.
What, does it sound like a bad word?
It kind of sounded like Shiva.
Throw some T's in there.
Like somebody was dying.
Screw him. He's dead.
Sean doesn't know what that means.
No, he has no idea.
Yeah, the Shiva. Sid Shiva.
Yeah.
Very good.
Come on now.
Okay.
Were there any should-uhs in the Yankees championships of 98 and 99? And don't tell me the first game one when Tino Martinez should have struck out. Because it was game one.
Mm-hmm.
There was no should-uhs.
No, they were that dominant, yeah.
Okay, the Dodgers had 2 should-uhs.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
And they could-us. And they would-us.
And they didn't-us.
And they didn't-us.
More of your calls coming up at 888-808-1019. We have not mentioned the Mets. We will briefly because they had an unloading yesterday. We'll check in on Mets trade deadline bingo and see how we did and our reaction to what they did, plus more of your reaction to the Yankees. 888-808-1019.
Circa Resort and Casinos guaranteeing $30 million in prizes in their Circa Million and Circa Survivor contest. There's no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all that extra money goes into the prize pool. There are 3 ways to win: Circa Million 6, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo. Circa Million 6 is exactly what it sounds like. $6 million in guaranteed prizes. Pick 5 teams against the spread every week, and a winner takes home a cool meal. Then Circa Survivor, $20 million guaranteed to the winner. Pick 1 team straight up every week to win. You can only pick each team once in the season. And then Circa Grandissimo, the granddaddy of them all. Ultimate high-stakes Survivor contest with a $100,000 entry fee. All the same rules for the Survivor game, except there are a maximum of only 2 entries. Big stakes, 3 ways to win. Circa Million 6, Circa Survivor, Circa Grandissimo, all at the Circa Sportsbook Resort and Casino. Remember, sign up at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada. Play from anywhere.
This portion of the program is sponsored by the New York State Thruway Authority. Imagine that your workplace is inches from traffic and a car flies by drifting because someone checked their phone. People work here. They trust you. Don't drive distracted. Funded by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration with a grant from the New York State's Governor Traffic Safety Committee.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
Sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. I applaud the audacity of Red Sox general manager Craig Breslow going for it at the trade deadline, trading for Orioles catcher Adley Rutschman. Some will say that Breslow gave up too much to get Rutschman. I say the Red Sox have been awesome, and this is honoring his team's recent performance. I'm Nick Costos.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
I'm Sam, owner of Marino's Landscape. With my Chase Ink Business Premier Card, I earn unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything I buy to run my landscaping business gives me cash back to help throw a big thank you party for my team, for all they do.
Chase Ink. Cash back built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/ink. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating and 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia. Movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
Life can change suddenly without any warning whatsoever. When you're sidelined due to a debilitating personal injury, it's crucial to have a trusted team on your side. The Rothenberg Law Firm has over 50 years of spectacular courtroom experience, ensuring that you're not facing those obstacles alone. Winning and collecting billions for our clients, we are committed to helping you recover whatever you deserve. The Rothenberg Law Firm, 1-800-624-8888.
Be lawyer for injured ones, injurylawyer.com.
This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. It's not easy being an accident victim these days. I mean, how do you choose the right lawyer? The radio, TV, buses, and billboards are filled with law firms making the same old promises, bragging about the same big results. They talk about their proven track record and hope they'll get you to sign on the dotted line. But then what? If a lawyer tells you from day one what your case is worth, please turn around and run. If a lawyer tells you how quickly they'll get your case settled, I beg you, turn around and run. The right lawyer is not a fortune teller. The right lawyer is honest, straightforward, and knows every case is different. He or she will have the experience to get you every dollar you deserve at the right time. So if you want to know your rights and you want to be told the truth, call D'Agostino & Associates today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24 and ask for me, John D'Agostino, because I've been there and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law. Bite back.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Rico Brogna podcast is proudly sponsored by Takara Fuji Apple Chew High, the sparkling cocktail that blends shochu spirits with delicious flavors of fruits from Japan. Whether it's Citi Field or your favorite spot, raise the apple.
Talk sports with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Yesterday's trade deadline was very active for the Mets. That's the first part of the sentence that seems exciting. The negative part is, of course, they were selling pieces off. The culmination of what has been probably the most disappointing season in the history of the franchise. The final nail was the sell-off that occurred. It was the right thing to do. This team is obviously going nowhere. But it was a bloodbath that saw the New York Mets have to call up 815 different people today to fill out their bullpen.
Is that exciting or?
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Not good excitement, like not happy excitement. This season, again, is a disaster, and it can't be said enough. It's one of the worst seasons in the history of the franchise. But I love baseball. I know it may not be here next year. And, yeah, I'm excited to see Jeffrey Yan pitch, strike a guy out, rip his clothes off, and celebrate on the mound before instigating a fistfight.
If you haven't seen this guy celebrate a strikeout, you got to watch it. I just saw it on social media. It popped in my feed for whatever reason.
This is going to be the most interesting thing about the Mets.
He literally jumps in the air.
And I don't know what team it's going to be. It could be the Yankees. Subway Series. Yan strikes someone out in a big spot. Jazz Chisholm's like, I'm not good with that.
Right.
And then we have ourselves a fight.
Charge the mound.
But the Mets did what they had to do. Before we give you our opinions on it, let's check in on Mets sell-off bingo. It's a game we played back on June 24th, believe it or not, because we wanted to get ahead of the curve. That was the moment we said they're clearly selling off. It's a month from now. Before there's any rumors or innuendo, let's predict if the guy's going to be traded and where they end up. And believe it or not, on that day, June 24th, later that evening, David Peterson was traded to the Chicago Cubs.
Right. That's right.
So we actually made the David
that was
Peterson.
So long ago, I almost forget it.
It was June 24th. So let's check in because we held off on this. Where and what did we think would happen to David Peterson?
All right, we'll start with Evan Roberts.
I don't think the Mets view David Peterson as someone they can't trade inside the division. So it's either the Nationals or the Marlins. Ugh. I'll go with the Miami Marlins. David Peterson ends up with the Marlins.
Okay, Tiki.
I'm going to say Cleveland.
You son of a Cleveland as well. He gets traded to Cleveland.
All right, you're all wrong. He went to the Chicago Cubs. How about A.J. Minter? A.J. Minter.
I'm going to say they trade him. I think he ends up with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, it was close. It was the American League. It was the Twins.
I didn't even think I forgot about him.
Forgot A.J. Minter exists.
Yeah, they keep him.
They keep him?
Yeah. I mean, he only pitched 23 times, right?
Yeah, maybe you thought he'd get hurt again.
Right.
They trade him
maybe not
to the
tradable.
I was going to say, you son of a bitch. You said the Yankees?
I said the Yankees.
You would have liked that too right now.
It would have been a prize jewel.
No doubt. Brooks Raley was a guy who was also traded to the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday.
I think they end up trading him, and I think he goes back to the Tampa Bay Rays.
So far, no one's getting anything right. Let's keep going.
Brooks Raley, good left-handed reliever. Do they keep him through the trade deadline? Tiki Barber.
No.
Where does he end up?
Seattle. Dang.
Thought about it so long, and nope, not Seattle.
I think they end up keeping him.
Keeping him.
Well,
Wrong.
let's move on to Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes.
I think the Mets keep Clay Holmes.
Yeah, got that one wrong. And that was probably the most exciting trade that they made, getting a top 100 prospect. What about you guys?
Is Clay Holmes a Met past the trade deadline, Tiki Barber?
No. Because he's not going to do anything for you.
Where does he end up?
Back in New York.
The Yankees? I love the way Tiki thinks so hard about each decision. Like, I'll go Yankees.
Sean Morash, do the Mets keep Clay Holmes through the trade deadline?
No, they deal him as well. He joins Pete Alonso in Baltimore.
Jeez. Are we going to get one right? Let's go to Luke Weaver, who
We got to
was
get one.
a little controversial because he had another year of control. I remember when you first brought up Luke Weaver, I was like, I got another year of control of him. I doubt they would trade him. What did we say on June 23rd?
Luke Weaver is not going anywhere. He's staying.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Okay. Sean
I
Morash.
believe Luke Weaver will be traded to the Toronto Blue Jays, and by hook or by crook, the Yankees will see the Blue Jays and Luke Weaver in the postseason.
Wow. You're going to get a lot wrong there.
Way off. Right.
And finally,
has Vlad hit a home run at home yet?
It's been a while, man.
I don't think he has.
Tyrone Taylor has more home runs than Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
No, I mean at home. I think
at home. But I think overall, Tyrone has more home runs overall.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And finally, the last one that we did was Freddie Peralta.
I am agreeing with you guys. I think it's tough to keep him. I think there's also a level of confidence that if they trade him, they could also, if they really do like him, re-sign him. I'm going to go San Diego Padres.
I mean, the Padres were active.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
I love how on June 23rd, I was open to re-signing him. Yeah.
Tiki Barber, will the Mets keep Freddie Peralta through the August 3rd trade deadline?
The answer is no.
Ooh. The answer is no. So where does he end up?
Tampa.
What?
Tampa?
Yep.
How about that?
Wow.
Wow.
We finally got one.
Now, what happened when he actually did get traded to Tampa? What did I write you guys?
What did you write?
You guys forgot?
The Yanks win the division now.
Well, Freddie's first start tonight.
I know.
Against the Colorado Rockies. Sean Morash, where'd you say Freddie was going?
Sean Morash, do the Mets keep Freddie Peralta?
No, they trade him.
Where does he end up?
The White Sox.
Well, that's a good one, too.
That was a good one because they were active. They did a lot at this trade deadline.
So we picked 8 guys?
Yeah, we did not do Tyrone Taylor. We did not do who was the other guy that was traded that I'm Huascar Braziban we didn't do. Yeah, so congratulations.
Right,
you won.
we got 1 of 8 right.
We all got Luis Robert Jr. right. We didn't predict it, which meant we thought he was staying.
Yeah, probably. Now, as far as what the Mets decided to do, the one trade that I am still bothered by, quote unquote, or at least not thrilled about, was the Luke Weaver trade. Right. Because they got back an infield prospect who's in single A. Now, he grew up as a Met fan, so I guess that's exciting. I've seen him ranked as the 9th best prospect.
Sammy Stafura?
Sammy Stafura is his name. He was actually originally in the Reds organization, was drafted by them, traded to Pittsburgh for Brian Hayes. He's an infielder. He's a diehard Met fan. I've seen some organizations rank him as the 9th best prospect, the 5th best prospect. Mm-hmm. But what I don't love about it has nothing to do with him. It has to do with the fact that you are going to look to replace Luke Weaver next season, assuming the Mets aren't lying when they say they're trying to win next year. So is that a good enough return for a player who could have been helpful for you last year and happens to be one of the relievers, and they're rare, who I view as more trustworthy to back up this performance with another solid year?
That's why I wanted to keep Luke Weaver, and I think you as well, because he just feels like he can be part of the solution next season. And when you trade him for a prospect who is at a position that likely is not going to be available unless he moves positions, he's a shortstop. Like, what is it doing for you next year? Because the Mets have to have an urgency next season.
And that's what they've told us.
Exactly. So what's it doing for you now as opposed to what it's doing for you 3 years from now?
Well, you could use it as a trade chip to trade for things you need, like a middle reliever.
And that's likely what David Stearns does this offseason.
Trade some of the pieces that he got.
Because he got a bunch. What did they get? 13? One of them was a DFA, but so it's really 12 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get 12 pieces that you can now move around next year.
I agree that a lot of these pieces are going to be moved, and I understand that Freddie Peralta's a free agent. You get the best that you can get. Even Clay Holmes, as much as we all liked him and thought of the idea of keeping him and re-signing him, he's a free agent at the end of the year.
He's got to opt in if you want to keep him.
And he's not opting in. He's opting out. He's a free agent. You've got to sell off free agent pieces, and if you really want them, you could always try to re-sign them. And the return they got on Clay Holmes is exciting. It's a top 100 prospect. It's a guy who's now the number one prospect in the Met organization. Doesn't mean Jefferson Rojas is going to be a star, but you could at least look at that return and say, okay, I'm excited. The rest of them are lottery tickets, as we all know, but the one involving Weaver is the one I'm more hesitant about because of I think he would have been a reliable arm next year. And now going into next year when the Mets try to compete, what is in the bullpen that they're going to trust? They have Devin Williams under control and not much else, which is why I have an idea.
Which is?
I announced this idea on the Rico, so I apologize if it's old to you, but, I mean, are you really listening to the last 5 minutes of the Rico Bronya?
I did not. I did listen to a lot of it, but not the last 5 minutes.
Oh, maybe you didn't hear this idea?
No,
or maybe you
I
did.
ran out of time in my ride.
Oh, sorry about that. It went very long.
It did.
Kodai Senga's on this team. And what I would do right now with Kodai Senga is say, you are the eighth inning guy. You are going to get big opportunities. Just get me 3 outs in a one-run game, those rare moments where the Mets have a lead, and say, here's your audition for next year. Because Kodai Senga is due to make $15 million next year, which is a lot. I get it. But if you're going to need to build a bullpen and you'll never trust Senga to start again, why not at least see for the next 2 months, can he be a good reliever that I can deploy next year when I'm trying to rebuild the bullpen?
But you're not positioning that as him becoming potentially a closer.
Well,
right?
Devin Williams is here. Yeah. So in all likelihood, that's not happening.
Right.
So it's more
but
the
gives
Luke
you an
Weaver
option.
role.
It gives you an option if something should happen.
Yeah. I mean, if he's great, maybe he'll excel in a role like that. I doubt it. I'm not confident. I'm just saying in the final 2 months as the Mets are playing out the string, that's one of the things I would do.
Dennis Eckersley.
Do not compare Kodai Senga to Dennis Eckersley.
I'm saying he was a starter.
Yeah, so was John Smoltz. But guess what? Kodai Senga ain't either one of them.
John Smoltz was a really good starter, though.
Yeah, but you know what I would compare Kodai Senga to? A failed starting pitcher. Dennis Eckersley and John Smoltz weren't failed starting pitchers, and that's what Senga is.
Right.
But overall, they acquired a lot of lottery tickets. I agree with you, Teak. I think a few of them will be moved in future trades. Hopefully, a few of them develop. But remember back to 2023, it was right as we started working together when they traded Scherzer and Verlander and all the other deals that they made for young players. None of them have really panned out as anything. A few of them have been trade chips and are already gone. See Luis Angel Acuna, see Drew Gilbert.
Jet Williams?
No, Jet was a draft pick, so he wasn't a part of those acquisitions.
Who was it that came from Texas, one of the Texas teams?
Drew Gilbert. No, Drew Gilbert was from Houston. You're talking about Luis Angel Acuna.
Oh, right.
And who they traded for Luis Robert Jr.
Right.
So a few of those pieces were traded. Ryan Clifford is still a prospect. You just never know. So don't have high expectations that these guys are going to turn into anything. But I think outside of Weaver, who you can question, and Braziban to a lesser extent, you have to trade these guys. And you hope that David Stern cooks and these guys turn into something.
The man from Milwaukee.
Otherwise, it'll be another reason to hate him and say he's been a failure.
Stearns is a moron.
So there you go. And now the Mets truly are irrelevant for the rest of the season. Now, not to me. I'll still be doing Ricos, but probably around here, the Mets have been buried.
Still going to be scoring every game. Evan has a perfect record still scoring every game.
The perfect game ain't ending tonight, and it's not ending tomorrow. And when we're on the air at 1 o'clock on Thursday, am I going to score the first inning and a half or 2 innings while on the radio? Of
course.
Maybe.
You always do.
No, but unfortunately, I think I represent
the
5% of the audience. I think most fans, and I wonder this about fans, and I am not saying it's a bad thing. I understand checking out of the New York Mets. I am not telling you otherwise. But here's what I wonder about, and the only people that can really answer this are Knicks fans. Everything should come back to the Knicks. When they were an embarrassment in the Phil Jackson era, in the Frank Ntilikina era, in the 2019, we're tanking to get the number 1 pick in Zion Williamson and sign Kevin Durant. Did you check out? And if you did, which I'd understand, does it take anything away from their resurgence? Like, did you get more satisfaction if you're the Jonathan Macri's of the world or the CP, the franchises of the world, who watched every horrible game during the downest of down periods, does it take away a little bit that when you do turn around, and hopefully the Mets do at some point, does it hurt it a little bit that in August of 2026 you're like, I don't give a crap? I don't know. I ask because I don't know.
Yeah, but I think what needs so what we were just alluding to needs to actually happen. The Mets need to get good quickly. And I think when you look at
wasn't the Knicks weren't quickly. I just gave up a bunch of examples from the late teens.
But in retrospect, you look back at the last 4 or 5 years, and you could see it happening. Are we going to see it happen with the Mets?
Yeah, but it took the Knicks from the time period I'm mentioning like 6 years. Like there was a lot of badness before it became good.
Right.
So I'm not saying it's happening next year or the year after, but let's say it does happen next year. Does it take anything away from the fan who did check out? And the reason I don't know the answer to this is A, I've never seen my teams win, and B, I always watch my crappy teams when they suck.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not blaming anybody for not watching them. Why would you? Right? I get it. But the Knicks are like the perfect example to use because they just did it. They just conquered the mountain. And for so many years, I remember at this radio station, no one wanted to talk about the Knicks. And I get it. Again, not saying we're going to talk about the Mets. But if you check out, does it at all take away from the resurgence? I don't know the answer. You don't check out either, though, Sean, so I can't even ask you.
No, I never check out. You have to be.
You watched every Ranger game at the end of the season?
Yeah, because I wanted to see the development of Gabe Perreault.
You watched every Nets game at the end of the season, and remember, Igor Joman wasn't even playing.
That's a lie.
I did not for the Nets for two reasons.
That's the truth, then.
No, the Nets was a different story. They were trying to lose, and I wasn't even watching young players develop. There is a portion of time with that. At least with the Mets, you're watching the bullpen arms develop.
The bullpen arms?
No,
AJ Ewing and
you're
Bench.
watching some, not bullpen arms. You're watching some potential starters.
Yes, but I've still got all the
next
new guys.
rotation.
They
That's
just
what you're
called
watching.
up a bunch of jobbers to fill out their bullpen.
Well, you got Jan. We're ready to go.
They are auditions, though, because you never know. Bullpen arms can come out of nowhere.
No, but you want to see AJ Ewing. You want to see Bench. There's reasons to. Now, that doesn't mean every day. Baseball's a little different. You know, if there's a Thursday where you want to go see Spider-Man again, maybe you check.
Well, you know what I do? When I do that, I DVR the game and watch it late. Like Saturday night, I got plans. Am I going to eventually watch Mets Pirates? Yes.
That's
eventually.
the only thing where you're nuts. I think when you have to hit the DVR on a lost season, I think, that could get lost.
I think, you know where the DVR is going to end me? And this is where my streak will end, of scoring and watching every pitch. I can call it and I can feel it right now, as much as you tell me it shouldn't, once the football season starts.
Right.
And not week one, because week one, it's Mets-Yankees, so I think for the job, obviously. I mean, it's Mets-Yankees. It's very different. But the second week of the year, the Jets home opener, a game I'll be at, like, there's no way. I'm getting home and DVRing that.
Because of the calendar, there's only 2 non-Yankees versus Mets football Sundays baseballs. So
Correct.
usually there's 3 or 4 of these we got to go through.
And one of them is the last game of the season, game 162. You talk about irrelevant.
No, because you're not thinking the right way.
Why? What's happening in game 162 for the Mets?
You're listening to the game.
Oh, Howie?
It's Howie's last game.
Yeah.
It's a road game. You're incorrect. That's not his last game.
Oh, my God. He's not going to go on the road for the last one?
He hasn't done road games this year.
I thought,
don't you think he'll do the last one?
No.
I thought for the last one he'd go out.
Why?
Why not? It's it.
Why not? Because the team is atrocious.
Yeah, but that's
It's
it,
over.
though.
So he's going to give us farewell in the penultimate series?
Yeah. He's going to go to Washington for Mets Nationals?
That's not even a flight.
It's easy. It's a good drive.
Oh, Howie's got to do that weekend. It's
No,
in
he
Washington.
doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
That's it for the rest of his life.
Stop it. He's ending it on the 20th against the Phillies.
All right, let's
As
make
it
a
should.
long-term bet. Does he do the last series?
No.
I'm going to say yes.
He's not going to
Sean.
Washington, D.C.
He should, but he won't because he'll get the flowers and everything at Citi Field, and that'll be it.
Absolutely.
Do you remember when, you know what this also reminds me of?
It's on the radio.
Jeter bowed out at home and everyone nuts, and he did appear in Boston, if you remember, at the end.
I
How
know,
he
but
should appear.
He doesn't need to appear. He doesn't need to go to a Washington.
Why not?
It's just not, unless he's getting like a White House visit or something.
Make love to me.
Like, other than that happening, he's not going
Let me
to
ask you
DC.
something, Tiki. Had the Giants been eliminated in 06 and you'd already made up your mind and everybody knew you were retiring, and that last game of the year was in Washington, and it meant absolutely nothing, and let's just say you got surfboards and the whole farewell the week before.
Surfboards.
Would you have played that last week in Washington?
Yes.
Okay.
That's completely
And that's
different.
the same city, not a flight.
That is so
no,
different.
it's not. Howie's
You're
got to do the game.
comparing Howie Rose, who's called thousands of games.
Howie would love you.
To
Got to do the
Tiki
game.
ending an NFL career, and the NFL careers are like this. I'm holding my hands together. They're not long. This guy's been doing this for 100 years. He
So
doesn't need
what's
to
3 more days?
He doesn't need to do Mets Nationals.
Down the road. It's easy.
That's your goodbye.
I think he's going to do it. He doesn't need to, obviously.
Bro, he hasn't done a
But
road game
should
this
he?
season.
Should he do it for the fan that's listening?
The fan's not listening.
It's not like he's got to fly to Sacramento, too. It's an Amtrak. I got there and back in one day on a Sunday.
He's got to end it at Citi Field, and he will. You guys are crazy. So long-term batting, we can make it, but you're going to be wrong.
Okay.
Howie's final game will be Sunday, September 20th against the Philadelphia Phillies.
And
That's
you're not
the
going to
last-
listen? You're going to be at the Jet game? You're going to miss Howie's last game?
You know what? I think you answered what I should do.
Just listen to it while you're
That's
at the Jet
how
game.
I'm going to break my scorecard streak. I'm going to listen to Howie Rose. I'll put it up so everyone can hear it. I'll make sure my season ticket compadres are good with it, like an old boombox. And we will play Howie Rose's final call as the Jets are opening up the home season.
No,
I think that's fair.
Do you know how rude that is?
You got to score it, though.
I'm not scoring it.
You're
I'm
going
at
to score it. You have to score it.
At the Jet game?
Dude, it's the New Testament, man. You got to score it.
Bro, I can't do it during
You
the
got My Mets Bible 1. You need My Mets Bible 2, the New Testament.
There are so many things off here.
I like that title. Tiki, it's one thing to score at an Eastern Conference Finals game. It's another thing to ask me to score at a Jets game. You're asking way too much for me to do that. So I'm not.
You also can't do that.
I can't do what?
You can't put people around you who are there for a football game in a situation where they have to feel guilty telling you, no, you can't listen to the Met game that means
I'm
nothing.
going to ask them.
But you know the deal. When you ask people that, people are uncomfortable saying no, generally speaking. That is so rude to people.
I don't think you understand the Jet-Met crossover.
I do.
Do you?
I do. But that doesn't mean every single person is guaranteed. And now you're going to make the two people who may not be okay with it, they're the jerks if they have the nerve to say no, so they're not going to say no.
All right.
You're rude. Don't do that. You're rude.
I'll use my headphones. Does that make you feel better now?
What are you, the person on a train who does FaceTime with no headphones?
I've only done that once. Anyhow, let's get back to some of your calls. 888-808-1019. Steve in Bayside. Hey, Steve.
Hey.
What's up, Steve?
I don't blame Cashman for not pulling the trigger on some of these trades because this was, for being a buyer, this was one of the worst trade deadlines I've ever seen. I think sellers did exceptionally well. But buyers, no thank you. I saw Andrew Friedman in the offseason when right after he had signed Kyle Tucker, he had said that he wanted to do all of his business in the offseason because the trade deadlines were getting increasingly expensive. And boy, oh boy, did we see that this year. I would for Ashley Rutschman, you're giving up a Pudge Rodriguez package for Ashley Rutschman? I mean, that's just insane.
What about Liam Hicks? Because that's the one I'm a little bit more annoyed about, and I understand the questions around his defense, but he's only been in the majors for 2 years. You have more team control over him. He's had a slugging offensive season. We know this team needs pop. And yes, the Rays have a good farm system, but based on MLB pipeline rankings, we are talking about the 17th and the 22nd best prospect in the Rays organization. You wouldn't have matched that package?
Well, I don't know how the Yankees match up, though. That's I haven't really looked at that one. I don't know how the Yankees match up. If, by the way, even with getting back to Ashley Rutschman, the Red Sox have a better farm system than the Yankees do. So you would have to do more than what they gave up. Even we were talking about this yesterday. Morahan, A.J. Preller turns down 6 years of Will Warren for a 2-month rental. I mean, this is absolutely crazy stuff. So I'm not mortgaging my franchise for a 1 or 2% better chance of winning the World Series.
What do you say to that? Steve's a very reasonable Yankee fan. Your thoughts?
Evan, you'd be proud. Instead of flying off the handle, I did the research of everybody's rich package last night because I wanted to see, all right, honestly, what would the Yankees have had to give up?
You measured the packages.
I measured the package. So it's one thing to say, well, they have a deeper farm system, they have this. I just went on the most recent. Everybody uses MLB pipeline prospects, and the top prospect the Orioles got is higher rated than everybody not named George Lombard. But 6 slots behind him was Dax Kilby. The other 2 guys you could have given up were Elmer Rodriguez and Carlos Agrange, both of which are ranked higher than the next guy that Baltimore got, again, in the most up there. So the point is, you could have overpaid, in theory, with Agrange, who is hurt right now, and Elmer Rodriguez plus Dax Kilby, and that is a richer package than the one the Orioles got. You wouldn't be willing to do that for Adley Rutschman? What are we talking about here?
Lewis is in Manhattan. Hey, Lewis. Hello, Lewis. Lewis going once. Lewis going twice.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey.
How are you?
What's up, Lewis? There you go. What's up?
Hey, real quick, Sean, you got to just accept the fact that the Yankees are not the Yankees anymore.
Okay.
Everyone's freaking out about it. It's just not the same anymore.
So what should we do? Just watch the games, wait for the end
Just
of
watch
October,
the
tell my
game,
wife I can
have
go pumpkin
fun,
picking because they're going to be out?
Listen, you guys go to the playoffs almost every year. I'm a Met fan. I would love to experience that.
What are you, a Met fan?
That'd be great.
You a Met fan?
Yeah, I am.
So you want to tell me how I should be a fan because your team is absolutely worst run and terrible. Is that why? So now
That's right. I want you to have a seat right next to us at the end of October enjoying the World Series.
Great. And by the way, we sit next to you all the time. But don't call in here as a Met fan telling a Yankee fan how they should feel because you got it worse. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a Met fan.
He saved his phone call. I'm going to tell you why.
All right.
Because he was trolling you. And that's okay. Trolling is, you do nothing but trolling.
That is such bull.
Dude. You brought up Nolan McLean's name way too often recently just to, spike the ball that Schlittler's having a better year. And by the way, those numbers are tightening up. And
because I had my nose rubbed in it all the time. I couldn't mention that Schlittler was good before the year.
Take a deep breath.
Because I hate when you put that on me. I hate that.
That caller was trolling you, which is okay. That's what Met fans and Yankee fans do. It's what's been going on for a long time. So that's why I'm okay with it. What I didn't and wouldn't be okay with is saying in a serious tone, not a trolling tone, hey, calm down, you're better than us. The Mets have nothing to do with the New York Yankees, and it shouldn't make you feel better. It's like the Giants start off the year 7-1, and they collapse. Right? And then my answer to you is, well, at least you're not the Jets. You'd be like, dude, that's completely different. Right. It's like the Knicks losing in the NBA Finals, and instead of me breaking it down with you, I'm like, well, at least you're not the Nets. That doesn't make people feel better. We are different organizations with different expectations, with different seasons, with different fan bases. And so I know it's difficult because we have multiple teams in every sport, even if some of those teams are not recognized as real teams. You can't do that. But the reason he saved it is he wasn't being serious. He was trolling you. He was reminding you that when the Yankee season ends, whenever it is, assuming it's not with a championship, that guy, along with the Tommy Lugauers of the world, are going to be the first ones to be like, ha ha.
Let's go Yankees.
So that's why it's okay. Don't get offended.
I couldn't even focus on what you said. You just spent that whole last 3 minutes on YouTube jingling your balls in your sweatpants.
What was I doing?
You just dug your hands into your pocket like you were rolling dice at a craps table. I don't know what you just said. Stop jingling your genitalia. If anybody watched on YouTube, they basically watched you, play with yourself.
Our frame is above our waist.
Oh, my God, Evan. I'm staring right at you. What is this, a game of left, right, center on Christmas Eve? You laugh because you know it's true.
I didn't expect that commentary.
I didn't see that coming. I don't have a response. I can't even speak. All right, here's what we're going to do. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Cinco de Luncho when we come back. And I'm noticing a trend from Brian Cashman, a very noticeable trade deadline trend that you should actually appreciate. It's Evan and Tiki with Sean Morris.
With fall sports right around the corner, now is the perfect time to make sure you're ready for the season ahead. My good buddy John Gallucci Jr., CEO of JAG Physical Therapy, always reminds me that the best way to stay in the game is to prepare your body before the season starts. So whether you're an athlete gearing up for a competition, already dealing with an injury, or a parent looking to keep your child healthy, the experienced team at JAG Physical Therapy will create a personalized treatment plan to help you or your child improve their strength, mobility, and movement to reduce injury or to streamline their recovery. Schedule your appointment today at jagpt.com. That's JAGPT.com.
This portion of the program is sponsored by Surfside Iced Tea and Lemonades Plus Vodka. It's not a seltzer, it's a Surfside.
There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Surfside is only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Training camp is right around the corner, and nobody gets you ready for football season like WFAN.
It's a good variety of coverage.
From roster moves to quarterback questions to the biggest stories in the NFL, our experts have you covered. Get ready for Kickoff 2026 on WFAN.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating and 10-year 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
What an atmosphere tonight. The stands are packed. Down here, two fans side by side, both holding a Heineken. Promising start. The chant begins. Listen to that. Perfect sync. Corner coming in. They lean forward together and goal! Arms up. They cheers. Wait, that's a hug. That's a hug. Let's check the replay. Yes, two strangers at kickoff. Friends by full time.
Fans have more friends. Find yours in the stands. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And that's not always an easy thing for me to achieve. But my friends at CertaPro Painters, they had no such problems. Big jobs or small, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call now at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. 1-800-GO-CERTA. Call CertaPro Painters today and get a no-nonsense free estimate on a professional job that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid...
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Plug-in Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end September 8th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's August. The dog days of summer are here.
I wonder how Nielsen Dodge can make it better.
Have a Dog Days of Summer savings event.
That's a doggone great idea.
Now that's a good girl.
You'll start feeling the vibes the minute you arrive. Fun is in the driver's seat.
Lease on new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. Just $289 a month. Yes, just $289 a month.
There's always zero down payment available.
The credit help you need.
More savings with your trade-in.
And of course, great deals.
Hurry to Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Make this the summer event. With approval, term 36 months, due at sign, $69.82 at tag and DMV fees. See dealer for details.
Right now, you can grab a full breakfast at Dunkin' for $6. That's 2 wake-up wrap sandwiches and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for just $6. It's quick, easy, and it covers your whole morning, all in one stop. Did I mention it's filling and delicious, too? Because it is. It's a full breakfast, a great value, and it just makes mornings easier. So next time you're at Dunkin', don't overthink it. Order the Dunkin' $6 meal deal. No substitutions. Participation at times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer. Cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Your sales team has the talent. They've got the tools. They don't have time to close the deals you need to win unless they have sales with AI. SAILES.com. Sales.com is pipeline as infrastructure. Always on, always prospecting in the background. No logins, no data entry, just real opportunities delivered to your reps. The future of sales is SAILES.com. Chase.com.
Keep cool out there, folks. It's going to be a hot one.
We the people love summer baseball. The food is over the top. The cheers come from the chest. We came with friends, but we met new ones. We have seats, but we're standing. They say it's anyone's game, but from what we can see, it's everyone's. Baseball for the people.
Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
I'm Galen, co-founder of Brooklyn SolarWorks. With my Chase Inc. Business Premier Card, I get unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything we buy to run our solar business gives us cash back that we put back into the neighborhood, donating solar panels to community gardens.
Chase Inc. Cashback built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/inc. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Start your day with Boomer and Geo. Join the conversation weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
The Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. It's payday, apparently, around the NFL. The Falcons and Bijan Robinson have a deal. 3 years, $75 million with $51 million in guarantees, making Bijan the highest paid running back in NFL history. And how about this out of Baltimore? Zay Flowers got a 4-year, $140 million extension that includes $108 million guaranteed, or $33 million for every fumble he's ever had in an AFC title game.
Ah, look at that. You know what you start to do? I've noticed this about you. I respect it. Got no issue with it. Sean is going to start to take subtle shots at the Baltimore Ravens. It's interesting.
For what?
For what? No real reason other than John Harbaugh used to coach there, and he's your guy. And I respect that. I mean, you love John Harbaugh, as you should. He's your head coach. And now, especially when anyone attacks what happened in Baltimore, if it's Harbaugh's fault, you're going to be extra sensitive to it. Meanwhile, if someone said it 9 months ago, you wouldn't give a crap, obviously. And so even in things like this, because remember, Zay Flowers did take a shot at Coach Harbaugh not too long ago.
Yeah, about his hard practices.
Yeah. So I think that you as a Giant fan, you're going to take it personal. And so what I just noticed there, and I got no issue with it, I'm just explaining it, is that you are now going to start to take random shots at anyone who besmirched John Harbaugh and the Ravens as a whole.
Right read, wrong pew is what I would tell you.
What does that mean?
I've always taken shots at the Baltimore Ravens.
Really?
I've always hated the Baltimore Ravens.
Why? Because of 2000?
Yes. Because they
That was
beat
26 years ago. It wasn't John Harbaugh.
Tiki, I'm going to ask you something about 26 years ago.
Go ahead.
Who was the general manager of the Yankees during that Super Bowl?
That would also be Brian Cashman.
So it hasn't been too long because he's still general manager in the Yankees.
That's funny. That's funny. Speaking of Brian Cashman, I noticed a trend. I mentioned earlier in the show, and I was partially incorrect, so I do want to correct myself, that what was surprising about the Yankees not getting a reliever is that they have acquired a reliever at every single trade deadline since 2017. The one I want to fix is 2020. 2020 was a weird year. There was a trade deadline. They actually did not acquire a reliever via trade in 2020. So erase it. Sean, I don't think you even count that one.
No. When was the deadline? Opening day?
August 31st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was much later. But in
No, it wasn't much later.
Well, that's true. It was only like 3.5 weeks later. But in 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, 8 consecutive trade deadlines have seen Brian Cashman acquire at least one major league reliever. That did not happen this year. But there's another trend I'm noticing. When was the last time Brian Cashman traded for a true rental? Somebody who's a free agent at the end of the year. In-season rental. I'm not talking about Juan Soto during the offseason. A late July, early August rental.
Yeah.
I have the answer.
Tell us.
It's surprising. He didn't trade for a rental last year. All of the relievers he brought in had either a year or more control. Same thing year before that. Same thing year before that. The last player that they brought in that was a true rental was Andrew Benintendi.
Wow, okay.
5 years ago. Is that not crazy?
So were all the relievers weren't rentals this year, were they?
That the Yankee that were traded in general?
Yeah, in general.
I mean, I have to go through all the relievers.
Right.
Brooks Raley and A.J. Minter would have been rentals, the two guys the Mets traded.
So maybe that's why.
I think Brian Cashman is showing you that he wants to trade for somebody who can help them in more than one pennant race. And that is a common trend now we've seen from him for 5 years. So I don't think anyone asked that at his press conference. No one did because I listened to the whole stupid thing.
Yeah, we also have to think about like their process, which we don't always do. We just look at the surface of it, and every team, and they're all different, have a calculation that they do, and that might have been one of them.
Why give up prospects for something that's only here for 2 months?
Right, especially if I can't say you think that you don't really have a shot this year, because they absolutely have a shot this year because of what the AL is, which we've talked about all season, but maybe it just didn't fit their formula.
It feels like this is now a philosophy change.
Yeah.
Because Jazz Chisholm, team control. Heliot Ramos, who they acquired yesterday, team control for 3 more years, if I'm not mistaken. Luis García, team control. Like, they're bringing in guys that are not rentals. They haven't rented a player since Andrew Benintendi. So I wonder if that's a factor. Now, the catchers wouldn't have mattered because both Adley Rutschman and Liam Hicks were not rentals.
Yeah.
There's team control on those guys.
Also not perfect trade acquisition pieces. One, because Rutschman's hurt, and Liam is just Hicks is not. He's not a great defensive catcher. Now we can mitigate that obviously because of Austin Wells still being here. So if you need him as a defensive piece of this, you still had an opportunity with Liam Hicks. But I think it's just philosophical. I think you're right. It's not anything other than we have a formula. It didn't fit our formula. It didn't calculate correctly.
Sean?
Yeah?
Shove food down our mouth, please.
You want me to shove food down your mouth phically or figuratively?
Are you stalling because it's Cinco de Lunch time?
Somebody's in the booth! Somebody hide the queso! Optics flying, phones ringing, Evans yelling, no! Tiki's laughing, chaos cracking, nobody's in control! It's Cinco de Roncho! Bam! Crunch! Let's go!
Let's go! Cinco de Luncho is brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything, everywhere. We saw potentially the end of an era late last night, potentially. So I'm here to give you the 5 most disappointing Yankee prospects in the last 20 years.
Here we go! Number 5.
Gary Sanchez. And I struggled putting him here because of the way he burst on the scene, Rookie of the Year. He had his moments, but his fizzle out was too far to ignore when you combine that with the fact that we heard about him since he was 16 years old. Like, in theory, he should still be in the middle of the Yankee lineup if he was the prince that was promised.
I think Gary Sanchez, in my mind, is almost worse because his first 2 years, I would even include his second year, he had 278 with 33 home runs and an 876 OPS. Like, his first 2 years, it was, this is the guy.
Right.
He's going to be the next core member of the next Yankee championship team.
A bunch of home runs, too, man.
And he hit for a decent average.
Yeah.
Like, he ended up being this low average, high power player. In the first 2 years, 299 and 278.
Yeah.
So I think the tease from Gary Sanchez almost makes it worse.
Number 4.
Number 4, I present to you Davy Garcia. I mean, he was supposed to be what Cam Schlittler is. I mean, all we heard about him was, those couple of years coming up, he was going to be the next ace at the top of the rotation. And when they started him in that playoff game.
That's the only memory I have now of him.
And he only threw an inning before they went to J-Happ. I realized, oh my God, like I was psyched to hear him start. I didn't think he would start that one inning. I thought that was the Yankees giving a kid a chance at a big moment. And his career the Yankees were right on that, but terrible.
It's crazy. Sometimes, unfortunately, an athlete, someone who worked their entire life to be a professional athlete, they make it, and we will only remember one little thing about them that isn't even their fault.
Yeah.
And in the case of Davy Garcia, it was the J-Happ opener game against the Rays in the 2020 ALDS.
But even above that, I'm shocked that we sit here in 2026 and he just kind of doesn't have a place in Major League Baseball.
That happens.
No, you can't even find him.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3 is Clint Frazier. I mean, geez, the guy went double Mickey Mantle on the back of his jersey. I know we traded for the prospect rights, but he was still a Yankee prospect coming up. Concussions. I mean, he was playing in the pandemic with the mask. Remember that old thing?
Yeah,
and then that quick bat never played.
And now he's a podcaster.
Yeah, and he's very opinionated.
Number 2.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
No, it's a good thing. I mean, he says everything McMonagle won't, so it's good.
It was Chris McMonagle, his fat ass.
Does that mean he's tough on the Yankees?
Yeah, he's very tough on the
Yankees.
Yankees. Number 2 for me is Anthony Volpe. It's not Anthony Volpe's fault that the Yankees basically made him out to be like Derek Jeter was coming and he was a homegrown kid, but the fact that we just had to do this yin and the yang for 3 years and now he's finally sent back down for another Yankee prospect, Volpe gets to number 2 for me, but he's not number 1.
Think he's done?
No. Whoa, the fact that they haven't played second base, I wouldn't be shocked if he's starting there.
You know what? Let's go through that. Coming up at 1 o'clock, more on the future of Anthony Volpe. But who's number 1?
Number 1.
Again, this is me, Greg Bird. When Greg Bird got called up,
Yeah.
I thought we were getting Mattingly again.
And he had moments in the postseason.
And he had a couple of those moments, and the fact that it just basically all evaporated, and you think back to all the baby bombers that came up, and you went, really? Greg Bird just was nothing?
I know this isn't the day to wax poetic about something Brian Cashman has done, because I agree this was a very disappointing trade deadline. But I don't think it could be stressed enough, because there's this viral clip that I'm sure everybody has seen, and we had a field day with when it happened, where Brian Cashman got into an argument with Joel Sherman about Anthony Volpe.
Yeah.
But what's funny about that argument, because it's going around again based on Volpe being sent down, is Joel Sherman, rightfully so, was saying, when's the last position player you developed? It wasn't only about Volpe. He was just trying to say, you've developed nobody. And so while everyone loves to play that clip and make fun of the failure of Anthony Volpe, I raise you Ben Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the New York Yankees, and the only reason they're in a playoff spot, the only reason they have a chance, is because somehow, some way, they developed in the last year and a half the leader and favorite to win the American League Cy Young, Cam Schlittler, and a guy who's going to get MVP votes in Ben Rice.
They did.
So for all we talk about their lack of development with the prized prospects, with the guys we're sick of hearing about, with Volpe, with Dominguez, with Greg Bird a million years ago, let us be fair. The main reason the Yankees aren't the Mets is because they developed Cam Schlittler and they developed Ben Rice.
Yeah, and it's hard to measure that across all 29 other general managers. Like, how would you even do that?
I can't compare it, but I will tell you this, and Sean doesn't want to hear it. I know the audience isn't going to want to hear this. But 10 years from now, when we're debating the legacy of Brian Cashman, because he's still the general manager of the Yankees, we're going to talk about, you know what was impressive about Cash? How as Judge was aging and Cole was aging, he somehow developed Rice and Schlittler to take the mantle from those two guys.
Right, and any of these other guys as well, whether it's Spencer Jones or George Lombard or whoever it may be. There's going to be guys that are going to be on the Major League roster and contributing to the Yankees.
Or they just may fail.
Right.
And the only guys they develop may be Schlittler and Ben Rice.
Maybe.
It's possible. We'll get more into Anthony Volpe and his future, because it's an interesting question coming up in a little bit. But let's get back to your phone calls with Bruce in Flushing. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, guys. I want to address Sean's points. Lombard, catcher, and relief pitcher.
Go.
First, on Lombard. Sean, you may have forgotten, but Tiki mentioned this last week. The Yankees were probably trying to trade Volpe in the trade talks. So you can't really trade Volpe when you just send him down. They were saying that they can get rid of Volpe, and then since they couldn't get rid of him, then they brought up Lombard. Does that not make sense to you?
Why couldn't they trade Volpe if they send him down? His reputation was already tanked regardless.
Because it's one thing to say, this guy is good, and they're going to say, like Minnesota would say, if he's so good, why'd you send him down? That was the reason.
Okay.
And also, that's my humble opinion, and I believe Tiki mentioned that last week too. Right. Am I not correct, Tiki?
Yeah, no, I think Anthony Volpe is an interesting prospect, and we'll dig more, or interesting character in Yankee history because of his hype, but also the failures that we've seen the last couple of years, and like the errors this year. Like, he was a great defender, and is no longer a great defender. That's really why you question the player less so than the development of him.
And also Lombard, he came back from the injury. He proved that he can hit in the minor leagues. Mm-hmm. And then again, Volpe, they want to trade him. Second point, on the catcher, Sean, with all due respect, you would have been the loudest person in the world if the Yankees had given up that kind of a package for Rutschman, and then he comes back and you realize he can't play because of an injured wrist. You and I both know that.
It's a fair point, Bruce. And Sean, let's be honest about this. You can sit here today, and you did do it yesterday, about Adley Rutschman. He is a question. The Red Sox took a big gamble giving up the capital they gave up for a guy who's hurt and a guy whose career has been marked as a disappointment, which is why I've made it my point that I'm arguing Liam Hicks, not Adley Rutschman, but you've made it a point to argue Adley Rutschman, which is your prerogative.
I gave you the pipeline comparison who the Yankees had to give up. I promise you, now 10 years from now, I could look back and say it was a disaster trade, yeah. But going forward and acknowledging the way Breslow acknowledged it, I would not have been upset with Cashman. I would have applauded him.
Let's go to Doodles in Bergen County. What's up, Doodles?
What's up, Doodles?
What's going on, gentlemen? Just want to check in post Fanatics Fest. Just wanted to say what's up and let you guys know I'm actually headed down to West Virginia right now to go to Giants training camp.
Very nice. And Absolutely. It's beautiful down there. How long's the drive? What are we looking at?
Looking at another 7 hours right now, but my Giants fandom is fueling my way there.
Nice. Very cool.
Hopefully you get a nice day, because it rained the other day.
Yeah.
And it's the interesting thing about the Greenbriers that there's no indoor facility.
Come on. It's football. It's the elements.
I
Dude,
agree.
watch the rain.
No,
Bring
dude,
it on.
I love that. Practicing you're going to play in the elements.
About that football weather, baby. Football weather.
Exactly. Just about 30 degrees warmer.
Yes, that's the big difference. Well, enjoy yourself down there. It's a beautiful, beautiful state.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's cool down there, too. It seems like camp seems fun.
Yes, it does. I've been to West Virginia twice. Whitewater rafting.
Really?
Yes.
I've
long time
never
ago.
done that.
Whitewater rafting?
Never done it.
Oh.
There's just certain things that you can potentially die at. That feels like one.
Tiki, you could die walking across the street.
Yeah, but it's very unlikely.
Is it likely
jumping out of a plane, whitewater rafting, any of those things? I have no desire to do.
Well, now that you've said that, I'm probably never going to go whitewater rafting again. It always seems so easy and not that concerning. Al in Jersey. Hey, Al.
Hey, guys. How are you?
What's up, man?
I called on Friday basically to give Sean his kudos saying that most Yankee fans that I'm surrounded by, they can't see any bad in the Yankees. All their prospects are being the next big thing. Sean has a unique perspective. He's a level-headed Yankee. So after hearing Emmanuel Barbari say that the Yankees acquired a borderline MVP candidate with Luis García, I thought of a good segment. The segment will go somewhere like this. Sean, once a week, will find a take, and we'll call it the shill of the week. And after the part two of this contest, you guys will invite on the shiller, and we'll have a shill-ash debate where Sean and this guy fight out their takes. How do you like it?
I love the idea, except Big Mac's going to have to do like a weekly segment.
I know.
Yeah, that will be tough. I know the people around here that we would get on every once in a while. Like, every once in a while, you'll have a shill off with Craig because he shills for the Jets. We know that.
And the Knicks.
And the Knicks. And the MLB owners. Okay, so there's a few things.
Yep.
Big Mac will shill like crazy for the Yankees, and you're so the opposite. That'll happen. Who do I shill for, Tiki?
I mean, you kind of keep it real.
Oh, thanks.
Ironically enough, he shills for the teams he doesn't root
I know,
for when
right?
we're
I'm
aggravated
trying to
about
think
That's a good point. I'm shilling for the Giants,
Yeah,
the Knicks, and the Yankees.
it's not the same.
No. Yeah, usually there's
And then we got to decide whether or not he's trolling or not. He's just shilling to make a point.
I think you've learned over enough time that I honestly tell you how I feel.
No, it's true.
Like, the Giants, I think, are the greatest.
I don't think you could.
I couldn't. The Giants, to me, are the greatest example of you're just going to get it from me, whether I'm right or wrong. Because the first year we did a show together, going into the 23 season, everyone was excited. They were coming off a good year, and I'm crapping on them. The following year, I'm high on them. 25, I'm back to being crappy, and here I am in 26, probably the shilliest of all shills when it comes to the Giants, thinking they're going to win 10 games.
Because coaching matters.
Because coaching matters. Like, I'm not saying it because I like John Harbaugh or anything. As a person, I'm saying it because I like him as a head coach. I don't know the guy. I don't really want to know anybody. I've learned that in life. I don't want relationships with anybody.
Yeah, that makes it easy, though.
Because but no, I'll tell you why. I know what you're thinking. It makes it easy to rip them. I think it makes it easier to not have blinders on. And I understand why it's difficult if you're friends with somebody.
But I was friends with Dabes, and I ripped him.
That's true. Well, maybe you're different. I don't know.
Because I just call it like it is also.
Well, I'll give you credit then.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a stronger human than I am. But I understand. Like, I admit it.
Well, I just throw on the analyst glasses. That's what makes it easy for me.
That's true.
I'm not saying you're a bad person, you're stupid, you don't know what's going on. I'm just telling you, it's a bad call to have Jackson Dart throw the ball on 3rd and 1.
That still pisses him off.
3rd and 2, or whatever it was against the Denver Broncos.
I mean, this is still something that is in the craw of Tiki Barber.
I can't believe I got to say this. Let it go, Tiki.
He's not even the coach anymore.
It changed the season. That play changed the season.
No, I get you.
You could point back to any moment in the Giants season line. That was the one.
Tiki, if they win that game, they may not have Arvell Reese.
Well, it's true. But they also might be in the playoffs.
And then John Harbaugh is not your head coach.
But Dabes is in the playoffs.
I understand, and Dabes would have been viewed differently, making the playoffs twice in his Giant tenure. But I could tell you this, and I'll make you this prediction, because I'm sure Brian Daboll will get another job someday. He will never be John Harbaugh. He just won't.
No,
with all due respect.
Yeah, he's
not
because he's older now.
He's old.
For him to be with John Harbaugh, he's gonna have to coach till he's 70.
And also, it's a high bar. John's a Hall of Fame head coach, despite the flaws or the questions or whatever you want to criticize him for.
That's fair.
He is.
You can't argue that. Oh,
Thank you.
You realize? I don't know if I just realized this the other day because somebody was talking about Brian Callahan. We basically swapped offensive minds with the Tennessee Titans.
That is true.
I just thought, I was like, wait a second. Yeah, he's head coach of the Titans last year.
It clicked with me. I was watching that Netflix quarterback show that forget them just swapping it, that both first-round quarterbacks swapped the guys that are coaching.
Yes, exactly right.
That's a very good point. Crazy. More on Anthony Volpe. What is his future? I've heard a few people say on this radio station that we have seen the last of Anthony Volpe as a New York Yankee. We'll let you know if we agree with that. And by the way, thank you for Doodles. He's heading off to Giant Camp. He gave us a little window seat in the Giant training camp, sponsored by Window Ramos First Down Deals. Save up to 40% on new windows and doors.
If you're looking to level up your wardrobe, you got to check out Collars & Co. You saw them on Shark Tank. They landed a deal with Mark Cuban. Well, they're the team behind the dress collar polo that sold over 1 million shirts. Well, now they've launched the Maverick Performance Blazer, and this thing is legit, sharp, lightweight, and completely wrinkle-resistant, making it perfect for travel. You can pack it up, and it comes out looking fresh. Plus, get smart features like security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So hit up my friends at collarsandco.com. Use code Tiki for 20% off. That's collarsandco.com, or go check out their brand new Upper West Side boutique at 182 Columbus Avenue.
This portion of the program is sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is expanding across Long Island and New Jersey, with offices coming to Babylon, West Babylon, Comac, and West Orange. From sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com today.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
All the New York Yankee fans that are upset about the team's supposed inactivity at the trade deadline need to realize this. The New York Yankees are the best team in the American League, at least on paper. And I'm expecting Aaron Judge to return this year. And if and when Judge does return, the offense is going to rake. The postseason top three in the rotation are ridiculous. David Bednar's a boss at the back end of the bullpen. The Yankees will go to the World Series. I'm Nick Costos.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide and services to showcase your invention. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
It's The Road Ahead, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com and discover a movement that inspires. The team from the Bronx returns home to begin an extended homestand against St. Louis, followed by 3 against Atlanta, and finishing up with a series against Seattle.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car to
877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Big truck crash at Victory Boulevard and Bay Street? Showman and Hill injury lawyers are the biggest defenders of justice. No one fights harder for New York. Every borough, every block. Showman and Hill. We are New York. Get a free case review. Search Showman and Hill injury lawyers.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
This summer, cool down with Dunkin' Refreshers. Sip on black cherry or try the all-new pink pineapple. Or try one of their flavorful fan favorites like mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. All of them are ice cold and refreshing. Dunkin' Refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. A whole lot of flavor and very refreshing. It's a sip of summer, only at Dunkin'. Dunkin' Refreshers are fruit flavored, contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Terms and exclusions may apply.
Fans, arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 8th for the 78th Annual Old Timers Day presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. After the Old Timers Day ceremony and game conclude, stick around to see your Bronx Bombers take on Atlanta. Get your Saturday, August 8th Old Timers Day tickets presented by Fresh Direct at Yankees.com/tickets today.
Talk sports after hours with Tommy Lugauer, 7 to midnight. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
We have talked a lot of Yankee baseball today. If you missed any of it, you could rewind on the free Odyssey app. And one thing we've talked about, but not ad nauseum, was what I thought was almost the surprising decision, not to call up George Lombard Jr. after the game, but to option Anthony Volpe. I was a little surprised by that. I thought they would find another way.
But what's he going to do if he stayed up on this roster?
I think he could conceivably still play shortstop and have George Lombard Jr. play third base, or he just comes off the bench. Like, it didn't make sense. Yeah. I agree with you. Like, sending him down was the right answer.
He had options. He still has options.
And he still has options. I'm just surprised they did it. That was my reaction to it.
Actually, I'm not, because of what we saw earlier in the season. Like, he was available. They left him. Actually, out of spring training, where they optioned him to AAA.
Right? He wasn't ready out of spring training. It was once he was ready from his injury, was he going to come up or not? And then Caballero got hurt, which created the opportunity for him.
And so it was non-ideal when it happened, because they would have preferred, I think, Jose Caballero still playing shortstop, but they needed a shortstop.
Sure.
And so he was the best one available. And George Lombard, I forget, was George hurt at that time?
He had an injury, but I don't think he was ready. I think that was the bottom line. They never felt like he was ready to get that call.
Double-A at that point.
Right. So he hadn't gone up to Triple-A, hadn't had his injury, hadn't come off the injury and started raking a little bit. So the timing worked out for George Lombard to be right when Sean predicted it.
Yeah.
August 3rd. But I also feel like Anthony Volpe was just the best option at the time. But I also appreciated how they handled it. They're not just handing him the position. In fact, he platooned a lot with Jose Caballero, and it was situational, obviously. But it just brings up the question: what now?
Yeah, well, I think once he's sent down, because I give you credit if you're not surprised. I was surprised. I think you were surprised, Sean, that they sent him down. Not the Lombard part. We made clear you expected him to be called up. But did you expect that they were going to option Anthony Volpe to the minors?
I did, only because Schumann had already gone. And it just, Caballero just presents more position versatility. Who else were you going to send down at that point?
Yeah, I mean, you're not releasing Ahmed Rosario. I think he's too valuable despite the odd season he's having this year. All right, I give you guys credit. I was just surprised, and maybe I was surprised based on the love affair that they've mostly had with him.
But I feel like that's
even
gone.
though that it's been definitely like damaged.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same as it used to be. But when they sent him down, and I heard a few people say this already on the radio station, I'll give them credit. Gio said it, Tommy said it, which is we'll never see him play for the New York Yankees again. And I understand that because you even asked the question, what's next for him? So I'm going to tell you what I think is next for him because I gave this a lot of thought. I thought it was interesting that Gio and Tommy both thought that. Like, we're never going to see him again. So I gave it a lot of thought. And what I think is going to happen, I don't think you're going to like. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think what I'm going to tell you is something that Sean's going to be like, oh, great. I think he's going to go to the minor leagues and learn second base. I believe next season.
What is that going to do for him?
Oh, you'll see. I believe that during the offseason, the New York Yankees will allow Jazz Chisholm to leave in free agency. And I believe next year, Anthony Volpe will be a platoon option at second base with Luis Garcia, who will also be an option at first base and DH. And hey, if there's injuries or things fall a certain way, we may see Volpe play a lot of second base, even against righties. I think they're going to try again with this kid, but it's going to be different. And I think he's going to be a part of the answer at second base for the Yankees in 2027. That's my prediction for Anthony Volpe.
I don't disagree with your prediction. I'll go you one step further. I think he's going to be the extra man call-up in September, and if and when, depending on the series, they may have him on the bench because they think his speed plays to steal a base late in the game.
Which, by the way, is not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
Like, you need a guy like that.
Yeah, I would also argue,
but you don't want him playing every day.
But the role he described, he's not playing every day. He would just be that piece off the bench.
But here's where I would push back, and this is like really, really getting in the nitty-gritty. If and when we do get a Judge Stanton situation come back, and it's Volpe that does that, I still think that role could be played by Spencer Jones, who's fast as hell. And I think they would go the other way with Volpe.
I understand. I mean, I think that's a possibility. What do you think of next year, though? You think he's going to be a part of the answer at second base next year?
He's 1,000% playing. He'll start like 50 games at second base.
So you don't agree with the sentiment, not just expressed by those two guys, but others, that he's done and we'll never see him again.
And he'll back up Lombard on short when they want to spell him, too. He will be their utility infielder next year. No doubt about it.
Which is what Evan's been calling for a while now.
Yes. And I'm not saying this because I want to be right, because honestly, if the Yankees could trade him during the offseason, it's probably best for everybody. It's probably best for Volpe. It's probably best for the fan base's mental, what's the word I'm looking for? Mental capacity. Mental health, our baseball mental health, to not beat up Anthony Volpe anymore. I'm just predicting. I don't think the Yankees are necessarily quitting Anthony Volpe. I think they realize that they have no choice but to change Anthony Volpe and make him fit differently, which, yes, I've been calling for a year and a half. But I disagree with the sentiment expressed by both Tommy and Gio that we'll never see him again. Oh, I think we're going to see him again. And maybe Sean's right sooner than you realize.
There will be a telltale sign on when we're never going to see him again. It's pretty obvious.
What's that?
If and when a player wants to wear number 11 and they give it up.
That's going to be it.
Well, because think about in the history of the Yankees and all these like pristine numbers, like 11 is like the highest number available.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of clunky. It's in the 70s and 80s. When another guy's got 11.
Lowest number.
What?
You mean
that's what I mean. Yes.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
But when that number's given out to whoever, like if what's his face? I just read Spencer Jones won at 11 now, and he went into the office, and they didn't give it to him. It's telling.
Or Lombard.
Or Lombard.
Do you know what number Lombard wore in the minors?
He wore 2.
He wore number 3.
You sure it was 3?
Either way, it doesn't matter. It's a
I'm
number that's
watching a minor league game going, we're giving a guy Jeter's number.
2 or 3 doesn't freaking matter.
Yeah.
Bottom line is he was wearing a number he's not wearing in the major leagues. Yeah, I think that's a telltale sign. But I think he's going to be back. I think the Yankees have certainly gotten to the second stage of Volpe, where they know he's not the future shortstop, and Lombard Jr. is going to get that opportunity. But I think we're going to see him again.
Yeah, I think it's interesting you say the trade in the offseason, because it does feel like at this point in his career, he needs a change of scenery.
It benefited.
Because the expectation was so high, it came down so low that we're all over the map with what we think about him. We think he's this great prospect, but he didn't perform when he came to the major leagues, and so where is he in your mind? So when you bring him back in whatever capacity, whether it's, as Sean was mentioning, as a base path asset in the postseason or late in the season, or as a second baseman and utility player, you're still going to be like, still Anthony Volpe.
I agree. That's why I think he's better off being traded. You're right.
And I think that, by the way, is also the organization's looking at. It's not just us as fans. I think the organization is looking him not as a flawed prospect, but just kind of not what they thought he was going to be. And so someone else who has a fresh look at him and develops him differently, or I don't know, whatever you want to say, has a better shot of getting the Anthony Volpe that we all thought we were getting.
A great example of this would have been if you guys got Adley Rutschman. Adley Rutschman was the #1 overall pick.
Right.
He was supposed to be a superstar. If you ask any Oriole fan, they'll tell you, sure, he made a few All-Star games. He was a massive disappointment. But once you send him to Boston or the Yankees, you view him differently. Right. You view him as a guy with a lot of potential, switch-hitting catcher, and better than what I currently have. It's the same way a new team would view Volpe. He's just a guy who's going to be a utility player. Well, unfortunately with the Yankees, even if he comes back in the role I described, he's going to have that scarlet letter on him.
Right.
And so I think for him, he's better off being traded, but I don't think that's what's going to happen.
It won't. Nice, easy way to save a buck on a utility guy.
We'll check in on this at a later date. What was your official prediction for Volpe? He'll be back next year?
I think he'll be back. No, I think he'll be traded in the
He will be traded. So you agree.
I think he needs a change of scenery.
Yes. So you agree with the sentiment. We have now seen the last.
And it sucks because it busts up the whole narrative. So the Barton kid, local, wanted to be a Yankee, and he started as a rookie, and he was here, and he had all this opportunity, and it just never completely panned out. It wasn't horrible the whole time. It's not like he was terrible and we all knew it from the very beginning. It just got to the point where you didn't trust him anymore.
I almost threw up on you.
That was the fan didn't trust him anymore, and I think also the Yankees didn't trust him anymore.
Do you mind if I bring it back to the Mets briefly?
I'm just amazed that Tiki was able to carry his coherent thought finish as you burped in his face.
I didn't burp. I coughed.
Okay, coughed in my face.
I'm sorry. I'm actually going to not make my point. I'm not going to bring it back to the Mets.
Okay.
I'll save it for a later date.
Brett Beatty, what are we going to do here?
The guy they got in the Luke Weaver trade, Sammy Stafura.
Oh, because he's a local kid.
Well, everyone's saying you're going to love him. He's a Met fan growing up, and that's great. That's fantastic. If I became a New York Met.
Doesn't mean anything that he was a fan.
How quickly would it change once I suck? You know what I mean?
Well, the Mets had one of those guys.
I'm not saying, the team president?
Steven
the
Matz.
man from Milwaukee.
I mean, David Stearns grew up as a Met fan. Does any of us give a crap that his favorite game that should have been in my Mets Bible was the John Olerud game, Game 4 of the 1999 NLCS? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
So while today I'm happy for Sammy Stafura, it's a great story. If this guy doesn't make the major leagues or does make the major leagues and sucks, nobody's going to care that he's a Met fan. Just like Anthony Volpe being from New Jersey.
Or Jeremy Ruckert on the Jets. Catch a pass.
Yes. No, I mean, it's a cute story, and it would be awesome if it worked out. Like, no question about it. It would be so cool if a diehard Met fan was a key member of the Mets, just like it would have been really cool if Anthony Volpe was the starting superstar shortstop for the New York Yankees. But at the end of the day, you have to perform. And we're going to get sick and tired of the shtick once you're not performing. So I don't mean that as a knock on this single-A player. I mean, Sammy Stafura has done nothing wrong. I'm very happy for him.
Right.
It's just more of a reminder that, and he knows this. I'm sure Sammy knows this. He's got to play well.
Sammy knows this.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like the Sammy Stafura podcast is in the future?
You think Sammy ever listened to WFAN and called up bitching about Brody Van Wagenen?
He didn't bitch, but I bet he listened.
Yeah?
Yeah, he probably posted that he was angry Richard Neer's not doing Saturday mornings anymore.
Aren't we all?
Is he that old? He's not that old. He's not old enough.
But he listened to listen to Richard Neer? Richard was on like 2 years ago. Of course he listened to Richard.
Yes.
He probably may be too young to remember. Well, definitely too young to remember Mike and the Mad Dog.
For sure.
Like that one's out. Because if he's 22 years old And Mike and Chris broke up in 2008. What's that, 19 years ago?
Yeah.
18 years ago?
Yeah.
So
he was a baby.
He's a baby.
Yeah, he might have listened. He didn't know what he's listening to, though.
Yeah. He remembers Mike getting pranked by people.
Yeah.
What about Jason Giambi, Mike? Can't you walk a woman across the street? Like, what are we doing here? Let's go to Bob in Rhode Island. Hey, Bob.
Hello there.
Hey, man, what's up?
I think the Yankees, as long as Hal Steinbrenner is the owner, they'll be lucky to win World Championship in another 25 years.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily fair. You're picking on Hal today?
Yeah, they were just in a World Series.
It also wasn't about the money. The trade deadline was about hoarding prospects, if anything. Jeff in Whitestone. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, guys. I actually wanted to speak about Volpe and George Lombard, but real quick, as you mentioned Mike and the dog, I actually made the dog cry.
Really?
To make it real quick. Yeah, when they broke up, I called Mike and I was on the phone with him. I don't know, it could have been 4 or 5 minutes, and I was just reminiscing, and dog was actually in his car, and he started to cry because the next day I have Newsday, and there's an article they're interviewing dog, and he says, I was listening to a call, it was me, and I started to cry. So when dog went to Sirius XM, I actually called him, and he says, hey, it was you made me cry.
That's funny. Look at you.
Anyway, the reason why I'm calling is I've heard a lot. I'm a Met fan, number one, Evan, so I'm suffering with you.
Yep.
But I've heard a lot about this George Lombard Jr., and the other day I decided to go online and look up his minor league stats. It looks to me like Volpe blows him away. So I want to, and again, I don't watch the games. Volpe's only 25 years old. I'm a Met fan. But what is it about Lombard Jr. that everybody's so high on, thinking all of a sudden with his 245 minor league average career, he's stepping into the major leagues in this big hot shot? I'll hang up and I'll listen to you guys.
Appreciate the telephone
I think,
call.
Jeff, part of it is, and we only saw this in spring training. I mean, I only saw it in spring training because I don't watch the minor league games, obviously. And so we saw him elite defensively. And that was whether they had him at shortstop or third base. He has an above-average glove. And unfortunately for Anthony Volpe, he had a litany of errors this year. And it just he looked uncomfortable playing shortstop. And so at the end of the day, if you're not going to have a good bat, as Anthony Volpe did not, or at least he was very streaky at the plate, you need solid defense. You need gold glove defense. And so it just got to a point where George Lombard Jr. is the better option.
Well, I also disagree with this point. Now, I wouldn't go look at minor league stats as the end-all, be-all, because sometimes they can be very deceiving and not match what a guy does at the major league level. But if anything, Anthony Volpe's minor league stats didn't jump off the page. Like, before he got the call-up, and remember, he was called up to begin a season. So we're talking about kind of a different time frame. We're talking about him playing baseball in 2022.
Yeah, and he was young. He was 21.
He was 21 years old. He played a handful of games at AAA, and he had 236. So it's not like he was lighting the world on fire. So I just disagree with the numbers telling you the whole story. And I think for Yankee fans, look, we haven't seen a lot of George Lombard Jr., but I do remember, and this does jump out at me, and we'll see if it matters, him taking Garrett Crochet deep in a spring training game and being really impressed.
Wasn't that first pitch?
I think so.
And it was the first at bat, if not first pitch.
I think it was a long at bat. I think it was the opposite,
Yeah,
where
maybe.
he battled him and then eventually took a fastball by his eyes and turned on and hit it off that Fugazi or over that Fugazi Green Monster at JetBlue Park.
But that was also Crochet's first spring training appearance.
I understand, but I'm saying it was impressive.
Just warming up. He's like, all right.
Here's the reality for
Getting back into the groove of things.
I get you.
Go ahead, kid. Can you get this one?
The truth for George Lombard Jr., just like anyone else, you could take those minor league numbers, and I'll quote a very wise man when I say this. You could take those minor league numbers and you can shine them up real nice. Real nice. Make it all pretty. And then you can turn that sunbit sideways and, stick it's a rock line. It's from WWE in the late 90s. They don't matter. It just doesn't matter. Good or bad, it does not matter. What matters is that he's going to get a chance to play every day. At least he should. I would play him at shortstop every day, and I would lead a Caballero McMahon platoon at third. That's how I'd handle things. I wouldn't move Lombard around. I would say, you are the shortstop. Has that been revealed yet by Aaron Boone?
He said he will start at shortstop tonight and bat eighth. We will see, was his quote on if he will play anywhere else besides shortstop.
That's another line that Aaron Boone loves to say. He's got a few lines he loves to say.
It's a long-ass season.
That's one of them.
It's right in front of us.
He does that, but he loves to say, we'll see. Like, we'll see. Like, it's a way to not answer a question.
Why am I giving you or my opponent any intel?
Okay.
That's his thought process.
And I will just say what I would do. And what I would do is, and you tell me if you agree, he should be the everyday shortstop, And McMahon and Caballero should platoon at third base.
He will hit his first home run as a Yankee when?
September. Late September. He's not going to hit a home run early.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he's going to struggle. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's going to hit.
Friday.
I don't think he's going to hit one
Friday. That's my guess, too, Friday.
You're both going with Friday?
I'm going to be in attendance. He's hitting his first home run when I'm there.
You guys playing the Braves on Friday night.
Yeah, Chris Sale versus Max Fried.
Chris Sale versus Max. Max Fried against his former team.
Yeah, Chris Sale's going to be like, I got this kid.
Let me
just throw him fastballs. He can't catch up.
Well, we'll see if he can.
I know.
It'll be late innings.
I apologize. Can I have 30 seconds?
Go ahead.
Sure, we got Nets.
That's what I was thinking.
I would like to thank a legend for making a decision yesterday that was so wise and so appreciated. I want to thank a man who said, look, I'll do things that piss people off, but I won't do that, to quote Meatloaf. I would like to thank Jacob deGrom for vetoing any trade to the Atlanta Braves because he likes Dallas. He likes Arlington. And if he was leaving the Mets, he was going to stay there. Jacob deGrom wielded the power of the no trade clause to tell Chris Young, I ain't going to Atlanta. And so, Jacob deGrom, I thank you.
You're stuck with my salary.
You're stuck. I appreciate that. That would have been troublesome, to say the least. It wouldn't have been as bad if he went straight to Atlanta, but watching Jacob deGrom in a Brave uniform for the final 2 months of the season trying to win a world championship, that would have bothered me. So great respect to Jacob deGrom. And even though none of what I'm about to say is true, I like to tell myself the story. deGrom as a Met just couldn't do it. He couldn't go to the Braves because he knows as a lifelong, before he went to Texas Met, it would be sacrilegious to play for the Braves. So that decision wasn't based on family. It wasn't based on houses. It wasn't based on moving. It was based on the fact that he could never do it to the Met fan. So thank you, Jacob deGrom.
Keep telling yourself that.
I told you it was fake. I'm just
of course.
telling myself a story to make myself feel better.
I think he just got used to not pitching in October with the Mets. He figured he'd continue it.
I mean, they're only 2 games out.
Do you remember when I cited you being a troll and you said, oh, that's not fair?
He also won a World Series.
He did.
I didn't pitch.
Yeah.
So is that not a good example of you being the troll I mentioned?
That's not a troll. It's what I think he's thinking.
Okay. But your comment is troll-based.
Oh, how different strokes for different folks.
Tiki, be the arbiter of this. Was that a troll-based comment?
Very.
Thank you. More of your calls coming up. 888-808-1019 is the toll-free number. Contractors, when deadlines are tight, you need a supplier that moves like you do. Window-Rama keeps the Northeast's largest in-stock selection of Andersen windows and patio doors and storm doors ready for same-day pickup or next-day delivery. Need custom assemblies? They build them in-house to keep your jobs on track. And with Rama Rewards for pros, earn up to 2% back, plus perks like free delivery. Window-Rama is your pro team. Visit windowrama.com to learn more.
Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka, or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. So it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
And this portion of the program is sponsored by JAG Physical Therapy. JAG Physical Therapy is growing in Morristown, New Jersey, with 2 locations in Morristown and 10 throughout Morris County. Their expert clinicians are ready to help you recover, rebuild strength, and help you get back the life you love. For more information or to make an appointment at any of their locations, visit jagpt.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, helping you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Taking a look at the pro baseball futures market following the trade deadline. AL winners, New York, the favorite at plus 250, followed by Tampa at plus 450, and Boston at plus 550. I like New York, the favorite at plus 250. New York on paper, the best team in the AL, and I expect New York to get to the Fall Classic. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. After years in the game, I don't guess. I go with what works.
With Red Pocket Mobile, you lock in your rate and you keep it. No price creep, no sudden jumps, just straightforward pricing and premium 5G plans starting at $10 a month. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
No matter what you drive, having the right tire matters. So take control with a new set of Bridgestone tires from Town Fair Tire. You'll choose from the area's largest selection of Bridgestone tires, and you'll get the Bridgestone tire you need at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair will give you more free services than all other tire dealers, clubs, or online sites. Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating and 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
I'm Sam, owner of Marino's Landscape. With my Chase Ink Business Premier Card, I earn unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything I buy to run my landscaping business gives me cash back to help throw a big thank you party for my team, for all they do.
Chase Ink. Cash back built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/ink. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins AeroBurst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of AeroBurst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And that's not always an easy thing for me to achieve. But my friends at CertaPro Painters, they had no such problems. Big jobs or small, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call now at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. 1-800-GO-CERTA. Call CertaPro Painters today and get a no-nonsense free estimate on a professional job that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
I can. You can't spell American without it. During the Jeep Make This the Summer event, celebrate 250 years of the country that can with a vehicle that always can. I can go where freedom takes me and take it all in with Jeep Wrangler's legendary 4x4 capability. I can bring the whole crew with room to spare with Grand Wagoneer's 3 rows of seating and room for up to 8. I can chase every day and take the long way home with Cherokee's 140 standard and available safety features. I can see this country in all its beauty in Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV. And I can celebrate it all in the brand America calls its most patriotic. You can do anything this summer with a great deal at the Jeep Make This the Summer event. Jeep, there's only one. Jeep Grand Cherokee has received more awards over its lifetime than any other SUV. Based on Brand Key's 2002 to 2026 Most Patriotic Brand Survey, Jeep and the Jeep Grill are registered trademarks of FCA US LLC.
Hey, Yankees fans! Join us at Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 21st, as the Yankees take on the Toronto Blue Jays. And don't miss Cody Bellinger Bobblehead Night, presented by T-Mobile. The first 18,000 guests through the gates will take home an exclusive Cody Bellinger bobblehead. Get here early, grab the giveaway, and cheer on the Bronx Bombers. Tickets are available now at Yankees.com/tickets.
Slater Schulman, 488 Madison Avenue, New York, New York. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Attention, former female inmates of Rikers Island Prison in New York City. If you were sexually abused at Rikers Island at any time in the past, no matter how long ago, now is the time to come forward. The new city GMVA law temporarily removes the time restrictions to take legal action, and you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. If you were incarcerated at Rikers Island at any time and were forced into sex with guards or subjected to any sexual misconduct, you may be entitled to substantial cash compensation. Even inmates who willingly participated in sexual relationships with guards can pursue justice, as this is illegal under New York state law. Call our law firm's Women's Prison Sexual Abuse Helpline now at 800-369-6320. But hurry, there is a deadline to file your case. Call now to get the justice and financial settlement you deserve. Call right now at 800-369-6320. 800-369-6320.
The conversation never stops on The Carton Show. Join Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle weekdays from 2 to 7. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
The Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. Mets in Cleveland to play the revamped Guardians at 6:40. It's Sean Manaea, Joey Cantillo on the mound. Devin Williams will hold a clinic to teach people how to pitch out of the bullpen for the Mets before the game.
That's going to be what he does.
The Yankees await the debut of George Lombard Jr. He will bat 8th and play short tonight at Yankee Stadium. When the Yankees take on the Cardinals, it's Ryan Weathers and Hunter Dobbins.
So right now, the New York Yankees open up the post-trade deadline world 3.5 games behind Tampa Bay in the American League East, and stunningly, only 2 games, one in the loss column up on the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox have been, like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because they've won 5 in a row, including sweeping the LA Dodgers. But if you go back to the beginning of their winning streak, and I get the exact number because I think it's 84 Tigers-like, the Red Sox are like 31-6 in their last 7 games. Wow. Like, it is truly remarkable what the Red Sox have turned into. And it didn't start immediately upon the firing of Alex Cora. It's not like, oh, they fired the manager and it got them going the way it did Don Mattingly. And honestly, it really began against the Yankees. That's when it all started. It started when Michael Kay opened up his big fat mouth. When Michael Kay made that comment about why are they chanting Yankees suck, look at the standings. It was a misguided comment. I don't think Michael Kay understands fandom very well sometimes. I like Michael, but I just think he's, he's been a writer, he's a broadcaster. I don't think he gets it very often. And since then, almost like the Red Sox heard.
That was
and
June
said,
25th?
Yeah. That's the streak.
Their longest losing streak is 2 games.
It's crazy. So here's the exact number. They were 37-48. They have won 23 and lost 3 in their last 26 games. That's the stretch, if my math is correct. They were 37-48. They're now 60-51.
Wow.
So 23-3.
This July is absurd.
Absurd.
They lost 4 games in July.
And now in August, they're 2-0 with a couple of wins against the Dodgers. They do play the White Sox this week. With all that said, if I had to pick right now, I think the Yankees will finish ahead of the Boston Red Sox. They're not this good. They're just not.
But they are, though, aren't they?
But they're not. Do you remember the last time we had this argument?
I do.
It was about the Cardinals. And I was right. They weren't that good. They were 8 games above 500. I said, Tiki.
Yeah, meanwhile,
they're not that good.
13 runs against the Yankees last night.
Well, that was last night. Alec Burleson just left the yard again. But look where they are in the standings. They're a game under 500. They're not bad, but they're not that good.
The other problem is the Yankees aren't that good. So
yeah, but I think they're better than the Red Sox.
Now, let me ask you a real question.
You can ask me any question you want. What would be a fake question?
No, because you're going to laugh at this question, but it had me thinking when you just said something. The White Sox play the Red Sox. In that building, will there be more people wearing White Sox, Red Sox, or Black Sox?
You made Tiki laugh.
Think about it. What is the most popular color sock in 2026?
It's still white.
I think it's black now.
You think the black sock is more popular than the white sock?
Because you only wear the white with a white shoe.
Hey, Morash, you aren't funny.
No, there's a lot of people that still wear white socks with black shoes.
A lot. But I ask you again, it's White Sox versus Red Sox.
Well,
what is the most worn color sock in that stadium tonight?
Let's play a little game.
Can I throw in no socks?
Okay.
That's not going to be the majority.
White, red, no, or black.
Here's the best way to figure it out. It's like taking a poll of 90 people to find out who's going to win a congressional race. What color socks are each of us wearing right now?
I don't even know.
Well, go down and look.
Yeah, look.
Take a peek.
I'm wearing white.
You're wearing white. Tiki Barber.
No.
You're wearing 0.
No socks.
I'm wearing black socks. So it's one of each.
But nobody's wearing Red Sox.
Nobody's wearing Red Sox.
No one's wearing Red Sox unless you're like a kid who's dressing up as a Red Sox player, which is, 12 people. So it's either going to be white, black, or non-existent.
I don't even know if I own Red Sox.
Yeah, I don't either.
I do.
Why? Isn't that sacrilegious for you of all people?
And what would you wear it with?
A lot of the sports teams I played on had Red Sox, so I just never throw them out.
So you keep them. All right, so you're one of those people. I understand. Yeah, so we are
like 12.
We're a good indicator.
No, like adult flag football and softball.
We're a good indicator that white, black, no socks.
Okay, well, at least we figured that out.
Yeah, the problem with your don't ask question is we're never going to get the answer. What are you going to the ballpark and doing a poll?
No, but if I was on the broadcast, I'd bring it up.
Would you?
But how are you even going to check that if you're on the broadcast?
You can't check it. That's the problem.
Or if I'm a PA announcer. We're doing a sock check. It's white sock. Instead of playing the hat game, we switch it up in the 5th inning. Everybody take off your shoes and hold your feet in the air. Let's count the color socks.
I think the trade deadline, Tiki, has broken Sean Morash.
Yeah,
that's where we're at today.
Well, I know I'm not going to be entertained by the Yankees for 2 months. At least I get a sock check.
Stop it. Let's go to Steve in Point Pleasant. What's up, Steve? Hello, Steve. Steve going once. Steve going twice. We'll go to Brandon in Bayside. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. First, before I make my point, Evan, you were in a fantasy basketball league with my friends back in like the early 2010s. I don't know if you remember that.
You know what's funny? I don't remember it, but I tried fantasy basketball so many times because I love the NBA, and it is the one fantasy sport I just can't get into.
Why is it hard?
It's not even that it's hard. It's just it's not as fun as baseball and football. So I probably didn't do well, and unfortunately, it's just not something I love. But I'm sure it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, I think you replaced me, honestly.
Really?
I left the year before.
Wow.
But anyway, Tiki, you made the point last week, something about the Jets, maybe, they should pursue Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Why not aim a little bit higher? Why, if you're the Jets, you have 3 first-round picks. You have Will McDonald, who needs a contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy out in L.A. who just got engaged to a woman from Jericho, New York, Justin Herbert. Why don't they just, approach the Chargers and say to them, he's 0-3 in the playoffs for you. He knows how to get a team to the playoffs, which is what we need. But, he's due $46.7 million on a cap hit this year. And
yeah, but if you're a Jet, do you want that?
If you're who?
The Jets.
Yeah. You're asking us?
I'm talking about the cap hit.
Would we want to trade for Justin Herbert? Is that your question?
He's not getting traded, by
No,
the way.
I know he's not. The only way he would is if Madison Beer, the girl from Jericho, New York, says, we're moving to Long Island.
Yeah.
And you're going to force your way to New York. And I don't think that's obviously going to happen. But look.
Who's playing quarterback then for the Chargers? Let's not forget John
They're not
Harbaugh.
trading him.
I know they're not, but I'm just
I gave you a scenario in which Madison Beer was forcing the trade.
Hypothetically.
Isn't that who he's married to, by the way?
No, he just got engaged to her.
Yeah.
I guess she's a singer.
I think she's an influencer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have an answer for you.
What to what question?
Who's going to quarterback the Chargers? They trade
DJ
him.
Uiagalelei?
No, they trade for his college quarterback, J.J. McCarthy.
I can't see that.
No, of course, none of it's going to happen. He was just saying, hey, Tiki, you're bringing up Baker Mayfield. Why not Justin Herbert? Tiki brought up Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield's contract's about to run out, and he said he's disrespected.
Yeah,
and there's a chance the Bucs don't keep him.
Right.
You didn't just create a quarterback to go after.
And when you think about value, like a team changer at the value, because he's likely to be 50 as opposed to $65 million. And again, I don't know what Justin Herbert's contract looks like, but Baker is likely going to be inexpensive wherever he signs next year. It's not going to be unless he wins a Super Bowl this season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's not making.
Do you think they're moving on from Baker Mayfield based on this contract standoff that they've had?
It feels like they're having a existential crisis about the current makeup of the everything, coaching staff, roster. I mean, they got rid of some of their veterans. Mike Evans is no longer there. And they didn't win the division last year. And by the way, when they have won the division, they've won it in times with losing records.
Yeah.
Like, they're not an elite team. They're a good team, but they're not elite. They're not dominating the South, and that's why
they're putting that on the quarterback, and they don't want to keep him?
I don't think they're putting it on the quarterback. I think they're putting it on everything.
Yeah.
From coaching all the way through. And so they know at some point in the very near future that the roster is going to need to be remade, and the coaching staff may be remade. And so you're going to tie in Baker Mayfield for 4 years?
No, I get that.
That doesn't make sense from a roster build.
Where I stand on Baker Mayfield, if this was February or March, as the Jets were searching for a veteran quarterback, I would have absolutely loved Baker Mayfield.
Right. You wish this negotiation or the strife in the negotiation would have came forward then.
No doubt. And he would have been very high on my
100%.
quarterback list that I made. It is now August. Geno is here. I am not arguing Geno is better than Baker Mayfield. I am not. But I also just don't think it's realistic or even at this point makes a lot of sense for it to happen. So timing is everything in life.
No.
So it didn't work out this season. But here's the caveat.
Baker's only 30.
He's only 30, and I don't know where the Jets are drafting. I don't know what the offense looks like. I don't know what the draft class looks like. I don't know where the other draft picks are. Is there a scenario where I'm sitting here in January and the season is over, and I say to you, you know what I'd rather do than take all my picks and trade up or draft a lottery ticket that maybe I wasn't that impressed in the 2 or 3 college games I watched? I'd rather go get Baker Mayfield. I can see that happening. But I think what's likelier than not is that the Jets are going to be bad. I happen to think they're probably a 4-win team. As much as that pains me, they're going to pick towards the top of the draft, and we will convince ourselves, and you can name the quarterback, whether it's Arch Manning or someone else, that that's our guy. So I do not think we're going to be sitting here in January or February making arguments for Baker Mayfield. I think it'll be more about the young guy that they're drafting that we hope is the next great franchise quarterback.
Yeah, and it's likely the path. But in order for that to happen, everything is starting over again, right?
Yeah.
You're probably getting a new coach.
Yeah.
Muji probably survives it, but you're going back to square one again.
And you're starting a rookie quarterback who have no idea if he turns into Zach Wilson or whomever. And so I agree. It's an exciting time, but it's a daunting time. When you have a young quarterback, I've experienced it. You guys experienced it last year. It's exciting if it works. It's daunting when it's like, but what if it doesn't? It sets the franchise back multiple years.
Right. And all it will take after you draft whoever that may be, Arch Manning or Julian Sayin or whoever that Drew Mestamaker, who I keep telling you should keep an eye on, you'll know pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because the first training camp where it's like, yeah, the rookie looked bad, you're going to have doubts.
I look up all the young quarterbacks. It's not a perfect science. I'm not suggesting it is. You know quickly. We always like to say, he's a rookie, give it time, blah, blah, blah. You have a pretty damn good idea early on if that's the guy or not the guy. Let's go to Rudy in Brooklyn. Hey, Rudy. What's up, Rudy?
Rudy.
Hello, Rudy.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Go ahead. What's up, man?
Sorry. First time caller here.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. First of all, I want to say is let's go Knicks, you know. It's the only orange and blue that counts, man. Honestly.
All right, we got it. Right? We got it. We got your point. Let's go Knicks. Orange and blue. They won the NBA title. I'm very happy for you.
All right, real quick. With Volpe, what do you guys think with Volpe? They didn't trade him. They brought him down, but they're not gonna get rid of him. I think that. And do you guys really think that Lombard is gonna play the rest of the season?
He's better. I think the way I would view this is he gets August. He is the starting shortstop for the month of August. If he's hitting 175, I think we have to be open and honest and say this team needs to win. He doesn't give them the best chance to win. But I would give him the runway of at least a month and say, kid, you're the shortstop. Let's see what you got. That's how I would handle it with George Lombard Jr.
Yeah, that's how you have to handle it with him because you're going to give him a chance simply because he has the potential to be obviously, I think he's going to be a good fielder, but he has the potential to be a big bat for you as well. And not doing other than Luis Garcia Jr. You're not. What else did you do to get bat help?
Don't forget Heliot Ramos.
And
Ramos. Right.
7 of the last 8 Yankee games this month will be versus the Astros and Red Sox. So he will get the big boy test. But a couple weeks to ramp up in terms of playing those kind of opponents.
Let's find out.
You'll find out.
Let's find out. This is why it's better than calling him up September 1st. Like, you've got 2 months, I would say a month to begin with. Let's see what you got. And it all starts tonight. And that's why George Lombard Jr., you're in the window seat. Brought to you by Window Rama. Save up to 40% on new windows and outdoors.
You think they also wanted him up here before Saturday?
What's Saturday?
What is Saturday?
Old Timers Day.
Okay.
That little absorption of when the Yankee legends come back. You know, they always talk about that.
You know what you actually had me thinking for like a second? Did George Lombard Sr. play for the New York Yankees? And is he out Old Timers Day? And I'm like, I don't think he played for the Yankees.
But you know how they always like to tell those stories. It's good to be around the guys and be there while they're there always.
That had nothing to do with them calling him
of
up.
course. It just had everything to do with the fact that they didn't make a trade.
Okay. I love you. And I gave you flowers at the very top of the show and at 10:30 if you rewind on the Odyssey app that you were right about a few things. You were right about the trade deadline. You were right that Lombard would be called up.
What are you going to close the show by banging me here?
You were. I am not banging you. Know what I mean? That is not my job. That's your wife's job. Right? So, no, that is not happening. I'm just here to tell you that sometimes you can be right for all the wrong reasons. You were right that George Lombard Jr. was going to get called up on August 3rd. Nothing can take that away from you. You win. Congratulations. It was not because Brian Cashman gives a rat's ass about your or anyone else's opinion to try to change the subject from the trade deadline. Okay. So the reasons are wrong, and of course we could never prove that, because even if Brian Cashman said that wasn't the reason, you would just call him a liar.
Of course I would.
So you're right, but your reasoning is wrong.
You know what, Evan?
And I love you.
You're right. It's a complete coincidence that's the very first day after the deadline he's up. Total coincidence.
No, it's not a coincidence. It's just more related to the fact that there was a chance they would trade for a third baseman or shortstop. There was an even smaller chance they would trade Volpe himself. You left the options open just in case. Like, can I ask you a question?
Sure. I mean, they only need both a shortstop and a third baseman. But
hold on a second. They call up Lombard a week ago.
Yeah.
Okay? And he gets a chance to play. And out of nowhere, and they just didn't see it coming, Corey Seager trade emerges.
Okay.
Texas is going to pick up a ton of his salary, and despite his down year, you're like, you know what? Screw it. Or Lindor. Let's go. We'll go local.
Okay.
David Stearns is nuts. He's like, take him. I don't care. You'd end up sending Lombard Jr. down.
No, I'd play him at third.
No, but you probably wouldn't.
Why?
Based on because you have McMahon, you have Caballero. You're not doing that.
Oh, so just to be clear,
you're already loaded at too many positions. So you can't get bats in games because there are too many positions that are redundant.
So you're calling him up to then send him down because a trade was made, hence why you wait to the trade deadline.
They just did this with DHs. They don't care where they are by position. They needed bats.
Lombard Jr. is different. They wouldn't do that to him.
All right. You know what? You go to bed tonight thinking what you want to think.
Well, I'll promise you this. I'm not going to bed thinking about why they called up George Lombard Jr.
Okay.
I'll go to bed thinking about a lot of things, and it may even
How
be
many
Yankee
hits did
related.
A.J. Ewing have today?
That's probably it. And even if it is Yankee related, it isn't going to be the why on Brian Cashman calling him up. Look, you're right. We already gave you the victory. We're just telling you, and I think Tiki agrees with me, your idea of why they called him up is just wrong.
It's convenient to your argument, that's for sure. Because it does feel like, hey, we get to see George Lombard Jr. tonight.
You hit on that word, Tiki. Convenient. Yes, you did. You know what, Evan? Enjoy your day, kiddo. All right?
What does that mean? Is that like
one
mean
day,
to me?
One day.
I know. What do you say?
One day I'll teach you a little bit about baseball, all right?
Clown.
Okay. Let's go to Joe in Wantagh. Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
All's good.
What's up, man?
Great show today, guys. Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Tiki, I'm actually in Charlottesville, Virginia right now, man. Your alma mater.
I love it. Wahoo, baby.
Wahoo, trying to get to maybe I could see some full practice going on over here.
Nice.
Quick question for you guys. So I'm just trying to think about, David Stearns with the Luke Weaver trade and why maybe Cashman didn't trade for Adley Rutschmanson.
Yeah.
Is there maybe the idea that both of them view like, hey, Luke Weaver, he may be a rental because there might not be baseball next season. Let's just trade him now and get one of the Pirates' best prospects. And on the flip side, Cashman might be saying, I'm not trading all of these great prospects for a guy who might play 25 games this year and may not play baseball.
It's a great question. No one will ever answer it honestly.
Right.
But it is a great question that you have to think about.
Right, because the GMs or the ones that are making these trades, because some are presidents of baseball operations, they don't want to acknowledge the elephant, which is what we talked about for a lot. There might not be baseball next year.
And even if there is, because I think if there's no baseball, my understanding is Luke Weaver's contract is going to be frozen. So then you would just have control over him the following year. Same thing with Adley Rutschman. He brought up probably the likelier scenario that there is baseball, but it's a weird skeleton season in which the games you're getting of Luke Weaver, the control of Luke Weaver, is a 50-game season. Right. When you're a reliever, you're going to appear in how many of those?
Yeah.
So I get it. I don't know if that's what teams are thinking. I don't know if because I would almost view it this way. I would say if I'm Brian Cashman, not David Stearns, but Brian Cashman, because of the uncertainty of next year, I'm going to be more aggressive in trying to win now.
To win now, because you have the opportunity given the American League, and you hope that your lineup gets better with Judge coming back. But we don't know, and he's very coy about it.
Brian Cashman met the media yesterday. I pulled some of the clips that I thought was interesting. Number one, I know they didn't get a catcher. I understand. There's a lot of disappointment. I'm disappointed they didn't get a reliever. Well, Brian Cashman very early on revealed maybe the excuse or reason why he wasn't able to make enough trades. This is Cashman 1.
I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Yeah, he was tired.
I think that's after the fact. That's not before the trade deadline.
Oh, you think I took that out of context?
Yeah, 100%.
I believe it or not.
That was at like 7 o'clock. He was tired.
Believe it or not, I didn't take it out of context. He was giving it was like the first question. He was talking about Heliot Ramos, and he started tripping over his words, and that's when he said, "I'm sorry, I'm tired." He also went into the Skubal thing, which you had brought up earlier. Like, did the Yankees pursue Tarek Skubal? Listen to his answer, and I think we'll get a good idea. This is Brian Cashman 3, by the way, Sean. When he was asked, hey, did you guys talk to Detroit and make an offer on Tarek Skubal?
But it was a very specific ask, and you know, a certain player and players we weren't willing to play with in that arena on Tarek Skubal, despite how great a pitcher he is. You know, it's another 2 months to go, and plus the postseason, and that made it more difficult for us to be comfortable giving up the ask that was going to go their way, despite how great he was.
So who do you think that is?
Lombard.
Really?
Because I think it was a position player, obviously, and you look at the Yankees farm system rankings and, who's highly regarded, and you look at the trade that the Tigers made, and the key player back was a position player. So I look at their system and I say, okay, Dax Kilby's a shortstop, but he's in single A.
Yeah.
Like, with the Detroit Tigers asking for a 19-year-old single A shortstop.
But he could have been asking for someone on the major league roster.
I don't think. I'm just looking at the Dodgers as a frame of reference. Yeah, the Dodger trade.
But I don't think it was the same ask of the Tigers had a different ask for the Yankees.
You think they were asking for major leaguers?
Yeah. I don't know who Ben Rice maybe? I don't know.
Nah, that's crazy. I think they asked for Ben Rice before the season, before he was an MVP
But why
candidate.
not ask now?
I mean, you could have. Look, Cashman's never going to tell us who, but I'm trying to follow the bouncing ball here. Other than Dax Kilby, all of the Yankees' top 10 prospects are pitchers.
Yeah.
And it sounded as if they asked for a specific player, a position player, since that was the key to the Dodger trade.
It was a specific player because he said that.
So I think it's Lombard. I'd be surprised if it was Dax Kilby just based on his age, how far away he is. I think it was Lombard. And so here's the question. Are you good with that? Are you good with Brian Cashman saying no to George Lombard being the framework of a rental of Tarek Skubal?
Well, it's also Skubal wasn't the position of need. Now, obviously,
wasn't the position of need for the Dodgers either.
It kind of is.
They have Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Yes, but also Blake Snell, who they keep throwing in.
He's supposed to come back.
He's supposed to, but what's he going to look like?
Otani's supposed to be fine.
And what's he going to look like? Otani hasn't pitched like he pitched
until
this year.
last night. Robleski's had a great year. Their pitching's fine.
It is.
You hold the Dodgers to a different standard.
Of course,
you're a
I
hypocrite.
Do. Of course, I do.
Well, why?
Because they're the Dodgers.
Well, why can't the Yankees be the Yankees?
What do you mean be the Yankees?
You can't, because here's why I'm annoyed. I'm not necessarily annoyed at you. It bothers me when certain people say, by the way, when I say certain people, I'm not even calling anybody out. Mm-hmm. I would call them out if there was anyone specifically. Well, the Yankees shouldn't trade for Skubal because they have so much pitching. The Dodgers never think that way.
But the Dodgers have the ability to overspend and be okay.
Why can't the Yankees?
Because they don't have a regional network that's kicking them off.
This has nothing to do with money. This has to do with prospects.
This is about money.
This trade has nothing to do with money. Trading for Skubal for 2 months has what to do with money?
Nothing, but it has everything to do with.
I rest my case. You said nothing.
The problem with the Dodgers, not the problem, because it's not a problem, because they're within their right to do so, is that they don't think about any other consequence except for right now.
But this is involving prospects.
But the Yankees aren't operating that way. They're not thinking solely about right now.
Maybe they should at times.
That's what the Yankee fan has been screaming about for a decade.
And that's what I'm suggesting when talking about trading for Skubal. Just because it wasn't a need doesn't mean you don't consider it. Would you have traded Lombard for Skubal?
I would not have. Okay. Because we have the Juan Soto scars. If you aren't signing him and you know he's signing with the Dodgers like every team does, why are you doing that? So it has everything to do with
win a World
money.
Series this year.
It has everything to do with money.
To win a World Series this year.
Only to have the team that eventually wins the World Series just sign him anyway.
You're such a hypocrite, man. Last year or 2 years ago, you screamed about Tanner Scott.
And then you don't win the World Series, and you traded for him, and he's gone.
Or you win the World Series.
Or you don't because the Dodgers win again.
Stop with the. I mean, you guys
we follow baseball, Evan, and that's
pray
the
to the altar of the Dodgers. It's so disgusting.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. Kiss my ass. It's inevitable. They're not winning the World Series this year. I don't care how loaded they are. It's baseball. Weird crap happens.
Okay. Susan.
Thank you. The Knicks are not winning an NBA title the year the Dodgers win the World Series. It's not happening. Well, one thing has to do with the other. I will figure out before 10 a.m. tomorrow. Anyhow, the Carton Show is coming up next. If you missed any of this show, you can rewind it on the free Odyssey app or download the Evan and Tiki podcast. Goodbye.
And this portion of the program was sponsored by Surfside Iced Tea and Lemonades plus vodka.